What's up?
What's up, Drew?
What's up, boys?
Drew wants to
How are y'all
surprise.
doing, man? You like my gloves they gave me?
All right. Yeah. Podcast over. I'm on. Oh,
No, you look like a fucking 2K. You know, people be throwing them random ass outfits on the 2K part.
Oh,
Dog.
shit. Look at
Well,
the green shorts to go with it, B. That's really 2K starter level.
no, that's funny as fuck.
Green shorts, jersey, and mittens.
that's nasty.
Gerard, you said podcast over. Hey, get on his ass. Y'all never argue, so I'm
outta
ready.
here.
All right, the gloves are
I mean,
off.
you don't
Gloves are
start the pot. You don't start the pot with that. Let's start with love. Start with love.
off. Okay.
Then
What if
I'll
we
promote.
start with that and then balance it out with love?
Ooh. Gerard,
No,
just
'cause,
no matter what happens, I love you. I mean, come on.
No, because I need to tell the people the story though. Because this is some
Yeah,
bullshit.
tell the people how Drew is a sports
Yeah,
slut.
it's
Wait,
some
wait, wait,
bullshit.
wait,
Yeah, they
wait.
deserve to know.
Let me back up just a tad, because B, you wanted to have a therapy session, right?
I did.
So you want it for music. I want it for my feelings right now because I've been called a slut.
See?
I've been called a whore. I've been called a bandwagon. I've been called disloyal. I've been
Wait,
called...
what was the first? What was the
And all of
first,
them are facts. And all of them are facts. So
Wait, go through the list. Take your time, and we're gonna let you be heard.
I've been called... When was it? Since Monday? And it's Wednesday. I've been called a slut, a whore, a bandwagoner, disloyal Pistons fan, which you say what you want, you know.
Yep.
What else? Disloyal? I don't even know anymore. You know, it just hurts. It hurts hearing that from my buddies.
Now, Drew, your pain is definitely respected and acknowledged. We
Thank
want
you.
you to feel heard.
Thank you.
Now, Gerard,
However, throw the
Yeah, I
little
was gonna
Franklin
say-
voice in.
I was gonna say, just a small note, Gerard. I want to give you the chance. I will take responsibility. I called you the sports slut, so that was me.
That's
I can't speak for none of them other words. I don't know who that was. I can only
Fuck
take
all of that. Fuck all of that. Fuck all of that. I don't care. I don't feel sorry about a damn thing.
Wait,
let me tell y'all.
Gerard,
Let me tell.
you
No, no,
said
no,
you
no,
was
no, no,
starting
no,
off
no,
with
no, no, no,
You
no. Because he
said
started
you
it. He started it. He started it. He started it.
Okay,
So, no.
okay.
Let me tell you. Let me tell you my perspective, people. You know what I'm saying? All the people that's listening. Welcome to Two Hip Hop Sensays and a Casual. That's your
That's
host
how you
B.
intro.
I'm Gerard.
That's how you intro.
All right,
Come on,
we
Gerard,
so
this
like.
fucking radio. Talk to me.
Before Gerard tells his reaction, should I tell him what happened in the first place to lead here?
I'm gonna let Gerard answer. I'm gonna let him.
Go
Hey,
ahead,
you got
Drew.
to say
Go
that.
ahead.
At least,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I say at
Go
least
ahead.
people
What
tell
happened?
the story why we're
Yeah.
in this predicament.
Let's
So-
go ahead.
Back in November, it was either late October, early November, after the season started. My cousin Mike works for the Cavs, and I looked at the schedule. I'm like, all right, when's the next time the Pistons are playing Cleveland in Cleveland? Could be dope to go see a away game for your home team, you know. So I looked, and it was January 27th, which was this past Monday. So I was like, all right, bet. I was like, how far in advance do I need to tell you to get the tickets? He's like, just, keep reminding me. Like, I was really passionate about this. I really wanted to go see him. So he's like, just keep reminding me. So, like, December comes by, January's here. Like 2 weeks ago, I'm like, hey, we still good? He's like, yep, you're all set. So me and Bones have been talking about it for years to go to visit every single away team in the NBA. Just, cross it off the bucket list, see a new city. My biggest dream is to follow the Pistons on their West Coast trip, like to start from or Portland even, and go all the way down to like, what was it? What's it? L.A. or they, like 5 games in a row.
The Lakers.
So
and
we went
Not
to
to
the.
cut you off, Drew, real quick. When you said my biggest dream, immediately my hair went to Jackie Chan and Rush Hour when he was like, "I always wanted to go to Square Madison, dude." That's exactly what I thought about. Sorry.
I'll throw it in.
Please do.
So he got us the tickets, and working for the Cavs, I've seen him hook up with like our family, like some of his buddies before. Joe Farrell went to the playoff game last year for free B. And
That's right.
so he got us, it was like right behind the Cavs bench. It was row 8. I'm like, damn, these are really good seats. Like me and Bones got there early in the city, like 3 hours before. Saw the Browns Stadium, which is right on the water. And side note, seeing a Chicago Bears game on the water, it's the coldest thing ever in the winter. And it's just, I wouldn't want to be a fan of that. Then the Guardian Stadium is right behind the Cleveland Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse, kind of like Comerica and Ford Field, like right on top of each other. So we were sitting there. First half was kind of a mess, and then Mike, I guess, called somebody and or texted somebody who knew, and she came to us like right before the half. She was like, "Hey, are you Andrew and Tony?" We were like, "Yeah." He was like, "Well, your cousin Mike called in a little favor, and he's moving you guys to courtside."
VIP, come
yeah,
on.
he's moving you guys to courtside for the second half. And we were like, "Shit," like, you know. So, side note, because I missed a personal step. The stipulation to going to this game was that we had to wear Cavs gear if we had it. Because I even asked him, I was like, "Can we wear Pistons gear?" He's like, "Don't." He's like, "Wear a Cavs jersey or nothing." So that was an option, Gerard, to not wear just street clothes, you know. But, you know, I'm a jersey fanatic, so I had to go rock a jersey. So we went, sat courtside the second half. Best experience of my life. Like, this is the second time ever I've sat courtside, like, feet on the wood and everything, and it was right next to the Pistons bench at LCA once, and this was a whole nother experience being right under the basket courtside. Like, when players fall and shit, you can hear everything they say, all the grunts, all the hard hits, like, all the little ticky-tack shit with the ref. Like, dude, it's a whole nother world up there. I'll explain more of that later. So, yeah, I was rocking Cavs gear in Cleveland and, you know, rocking my favorite player, Donovan Mitchell, and having a good time sitting court.
That ain't even the.
Is
So
Donovan Mitchell really your favorite player?
He's top 5 for me.
Okay.
Right in this current era, I'd say.
Okay.
that ain't what I'm. That's not even what I'm mad at. Okay. I'm glad you had a
let's
great.
hear Gerard's point now.
Yeah. I'm glad you had a great time. I'm glad you got to see your cousin. I'm glad you got to sit courtside. It's an amazing experience. Yada 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 yada.
Yep,
Yeah,
it's coming.
all
It's
of
a
that.
powder keg. It's coming, B.
What happened? What the crazy part is, like, yeah, we was fucking with you about wearing the jersey or whatever. That was just fun and games. After the game, and B can attest to this, Drew said verbatim, "Let me go to the text
Go ahead.
message."
Bar for bar. Get his ass. Get his ass.
I can
Drew
see myself
said-
being a Cavs fan.
Yeah, right. He said verbatim, "After this experience, I'm kind of a fan of the Cavs now." I'm like, a fan? That's where you draw that. Like, that's the part where I was like, hell no. Like
Ain't nothing like
no.
bandwagoning a number 1 seed. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, right.
No, I was like, all right, you got to wear the jersey. Cool. Y'all had
Yeah.
you and Bones had a cute little pic. That was nice, whatever. Like,
Very
but
nice picture.
yeah, right. But then to just say, like, we became big Cavs fans tonight. Got a lot to share on the pod. I'm like, fuck all that. No,
Yeah,
like, I ain't
yeah,
care about the
yeah,
jersey. I ain't like
Yeah,
that's the part where I was like, no, you can't do that shit. Like,
Yup.
I was like, that's when we was like, that's nasty, Drew. Like, that's when we started really going in. When you said the
Crazy what a
jersey,
live
we was just
experience can do for you.
Yeah.
I was like, I was like, that's when we started saying free tickets, slutted him out, and Drew is trash for that, because it's like, damn, all it takes is some courtside seats for you to
Hey.
just switch your alliance up. Like,
Hey.
that's crazy.
Come on,
Like,
I'm still
so-
a Pistons fan.
So, Drew, I want to elaborate
Allegedly.
on why I thought you. Yeah, right. Allegedly, no, that's facts.
Should have seen how they played live. That was embarrassing.
I want to acknowledge why I called you a sports slut, and
Okay.
it wasn't related to this Pistons situation wholeheartedly. I just noticed in the NFL playoffs,
Yes.
you went from first it was you won the Broncos secretly.
Yep.
Love your love for Bo Nix.
Big
Cool.
fan. Big fan.
Then obviously they was booted out. Then you show love to the Lions, obviously. But you also are a Ravens fan.
Yes.
So I have to acknowledge that too. But then the Lions and Ravens lost, and I think you said at this
Bills
point,
at that point.
yeah, then you won the Bills. Sorry, you were out of the Bills. Bills lost. Then it was like at this point,
Saquon.
hey, go Saquon and go Philly.
I mean, Jesus.
So, I just want to know, like, you know,
And this
it went
time, you
from-
got to kind of attach yourself to happiness, and that's after being hurt so bad in the playoffs this year. You know, just trying to
I
find a
hear you.
sliver
I hear you. So
of
just,
happiness.
that's where my sports slug came from. 'Cause
That's
I'm
fair.
like, God damn, he get the floor seats. Now he talking about being a Cavs fan. I'm like, nah, you gotta draw the line in the sand at some point. So that was me being silly, calling you a sports slut. So that's what that
That's
was
okay.
about.
All right, yeah, apology accepted. You know, I didn't really hear one.
I'm gonna apologize, but if you take it like that, who am I to take that away from you, brother?
Well, let's break down now why I said the things I did. The Pistons played like ass that game. I don't know how much, if you guys watched it or not, but dude, watching it live, Tobias Harris needs to go now. Bones brought up what you said, B, like, oh, Tim Hardaway had 27 points. He should have been gone the next day, you know?
Dude, literally, before it was midnight, Tim would have been... bro.
I've never been a fan of him, but watching his... I ended up developing a real hate for him. Like, watching his body language on the court, he doesn't want to be here. Like, this is just a stopping ground for whatever his next 2 or 3 year deal is, you know? Like... He didn't want to get involved. Like, he didn't get the ball one time. Like, I think Cade looked him off or something. He just gave up on the play. Just stood in the corner.
This is Tim Hardaway you're talking about.
Tim Hardaway Jr. Who was, I think, 2 of 7 for the game, and Tobias was 1 of 9.
Tobias had 2 points.
Dude.
Yeah. 2 points.
You know, how do I word this? The mid-range game is lost. And now it's because of guys like Tobias Harris, dude. He did a pump from 3, took a dribble in, you know, textbook, pulled up, was short from mid-range. I'm like, how? Like, dude, at least try and hit the backboard or something. Other shots, he pulled up from 3, bricked it off the side of the glass. Like, he took a dead-on 3, hit it off the left panel. I'm like, dude, like, me and Bones are just looking at each other like, what the fuck are you doing? So... Let's move on. Jalen Duren, I was telling Bones about your recycle pattern with him. So he had a double-double. It was the softest double-double I've ever seen. It was like 11 and 10 or something like that. But Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen made him look like a bitch down low. And like,
I believe it.
I'm going to try and say a lot of these things without pause, but like some of those dudes are yoked down there. Like Jalen Duren is a beast. Like,
he's a man-child. That's why it's so fun. He needs
to become a man. Like,
world.
Dude, he reminds me of Andre Drummond, but softer. Like, it's crazy. Like, we just drafted another Dre, and dude, there'd be like a 50-50 ball every time Jarrett Allen or Mobley would just snag it from him. I'm like, come on, like, dude, just get 2 of these. Like, it'd make all the difference in the world. Sasser needs to shoot more. Dude, he was in for like the whole fourth quarter when they were up 22, just lighting it up. Like, dude, the first 3 quarters, like, he'd be getting his minutes, but he'd get the ball, he just wouldn't shoot. Like, dude, pull a 3, who cares in this league anymore? Like,
yeah,
if you go 1 of 3, it's a different story, you know, maybe take a different look, but he needs to shoot more. Cade is an absolute all-star, man. Like, the best mid-range in the game right now, like, every time he shoots it, it's butter. Like, from mid-range, he's really working on that left hook, which he won against the Hawks when he hit that final shot. He's been working on his left, and he's been doing a lot better with it. But, like, his turnaround midi, I haven't seen that in so long. Like, a guy who can consistently hit that. Like, Kyrie's a guy, Bron's a guy, even though he doesn't do it anymore. Like, Dirk used to be the man at, you know, middies, but who else am I missing? Oh, Asor Thompson. We drafted the wrong brother, clearly, because his brother's killing it right now, and he's another guy who can't shoot or is super soft whenever he goes to the rim. Beasley needs a start over Hardaway. That's my last point. He is just a bona fide stud, and why he's coming off the bench for these, like, spark minutes, just put him in starting minutes. Like, I think he'd flourish more.
If he don't come off the bench, then we're not going to get no production.
We don't
off
have,
the bench.
and that's what led me.
Like, he's the perfect 6 man. Looking at the box score, I mean, he's already got 15 points or 15 minutes tonight.
Damn, that's
it's
perfect.
Halftime. Like, he's 5 of 7 from 3.
What are they right now? Last I saw, they were down 11.
Yeah, they're down 10
No,
halftime.
10.
Indy is 74-64. Indy is ahead. Tim Hardaway in 14 minutes has 3 points. Azure Thompson, who, by the way, I actually do like him. I just think the lineup around him has to be better scoring-wise. But Azure Thompson in 12 minutes has 2 points. Jesus. Tobias Harris, though, has 11 and 5 in 18 minutes. But Cade Cunningham, finally, the one game a week he shows up. Cade Cunningham, though, has 15, 5, and 3.
Bona fide stud, man. Like, so saying shit like it's a whole different experience at that spot under the hoop. Cade hit an and one shot, fell to the ground and was like actually hit. He just looks at the ref, that's a fucking foul, and just looks back at him, that's a fucking foul, you gonna call? Like, oh, you don't hear this on TV like that, you know?
Bro, they
Little
talk
shit
about
like
ratings
that.
a lot. Me and my friends talked about, like, if they had access
Bro.
to where you could, like, hear the court shit, like, talking to the ref.
Skyrocket.
Like, talking shit on the court, like, just to be able to hear that audio, like,
Man.
I would pay for something
Dude,
like that.
Like
But
almost like a live Hard Knocks kind of, you know?
legit.
Oh, that'd be... Yeah,
And it's
but-
not hard to do. I mean, the way they have players mic'd up now,
Mm-hmm.
like, the angles, there's so many ways they
just
can do
mic
it.
up your starters or something, you know? That'd be sick.
Yeah. Like, no, but that's dope.
Moving to the Cavs side, and why I became a fan of them, Gerard, they proved why they're the number one seed right now. 4 out of 5, who was it? Oh, because Jared Allen came off the bench. They had 5 people get double-doubles that game. Like, watching it live, you don't even put it into perspective like that. But, like, Jared Allen, Mobley, Donnie, Garland, and there was one more I can't remember. That Ty Jerome, dude. Coming off the bench like that, he got like 15, 17 points. Like, dude, that's
nice.
our Beasley,
Yeah.
but we need another dude like that. Like,
Yeah.
just solid off the bench.
Dean Wade is a dog too. Dean Wade.
Fuck, who's he?
They also have Karis LeVert, who, despite being hurt so much, like, he's another
and
guy.
my boy just traded me Max Strus. Like, he was
Max
solid
Strus,
off the
yep.
bench. Like, dude,
Bro.
like
They're loaded, man.
their
They're
depth
loaded.
is
They
way
got-
better than the Pistons. Like, we have such a weak roster compared to them, and I'm like, no wonder they're the fucking 1 seed. Like,
Yeah, but I mean, listen, the
Pistons are
Pistons are
ahead of schedule.
overachieving. Yeah,
I agree. They're
Pistons
fool's
are
gold right
overachieving.
now.
Like
I
we
agree.
can't. It's not comparable to compare us to the Cavs. Like I said when I
Well,
was giving you shit, you know,
Yeah.
it's like the Cavs are the best team in the league. Obviously,
sure.
it's
Yeah.
a reason for that. But fuck all that. You know what I'm saying? Like you guys hold the Pistons down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was gonna
it's
say,
bad
yeah.
enough. It's bad enough that you still wearing the Cavs jersey. You know
Yeah,
what
it
I'm
was-
saying?
Low-key.
But to
I
go
know.
there and then
Double
be
down is actually
glazing,
crazy.
like he was glazing too. I'm
And
like,
it ain't
bro,
even the
come
same
on, dog.
jersey, Gerard. It's a completely different jersey.
Oh,
Like-
so that's the other thing. I counted my jerseys. The jerseys I have the most of for any team is the Cavs. I got 5 of them.
That's sick, bro.
That's I got 5 Cavs.
Division rival.
It's just how it goes.
man.
Somehow, you know, you find cheap ones. Next thing you know, you got 5 of them. But led me to my next point. And I called B after the game because we were still kind of chatting a little bit, and we called him on the way home. Bro, that city sucks. Like the city of Cleveland is the worst city for just like recreation. Like we got there at 4:00 after we saw a few things and parked. It was 4:30. We're like, all right, let's grab something to eat. Then we can kind of like check out the arena, check anything else we want to. Every single restaurant in town closes at 5:00. I have no idea
Damn.
why. No idea why. You go to other cities, like I've never been inside the Heat Stadium, but every single bar around it is jam-packed with people drinking and pregame and before and after the game. So we found this little Irish pub. It's called Flannery's. It's like right across from the stadium. It was perfect, you know, exactly what we needed. It was cold and windy out. We leave the game and we're like, all right, maybe, you know, we'll go get a drink or something, check out one more place. It's a ghost town, dude. Everything is closed. Like, it's 10:00. I'm like, dude, let's go get a slice of pizza because we saw like 8 pizza places. They're all closed. So
Yeah,
I was like,
that's
fuck it.
nasty.
I guess, you know, let's hit the road early and go get some McDonald's or something. Like, that's all we could do. So,
yeah, that
but we were
sucks.
just like, think
True,
of
what did I-
Detroit.
when you told me that though, what did I tell you?
I don't remember.
I
Sorry.
said that's fucking Ohio for
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
Like,
you said it's fucking Ohio.
I expect nothing.
I forgot about that. We were dying. Bro.
Like, that's Ohio.
But we were just saying, like, Detroit would never. Like, win or lose a Pistons or a Wings game, shit, even a Tigers game, there's so many places to eat
It's a
downtown.
bunch of shit open. Yeah,
There's bars open that don't even sell food but will sell you a drink. Like, that's all
yeah.
that's all the city needs. Like, Detroit's doing it right compared to Cleveland, man. Like, that's just sad.
There's somewhere to go any day during the week until like damn near 2 a.m. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
on the weekends, like
Awful.
it's yeah.
There's
Oh, that's
nothing.
crazy, actually.
Dude, 5:00 closing for dinner. Like, are you insane? Like, that's
that's
prime. And it's not like it's actually a pretty clean city, like the actual downtown. I didn't go anywhere else, but you know, no trash or anything down there is really nice. But everything's fucking closed. I told Bones it's like Pontiac times 3. Like, there's one restaurant open every like 6-7 blocks. Like, Oh man.
funny as hell.
Two more little tidbits. I'm a big fan. Even if I don't see a game, every time I go to a city, I like to go to the place's team store because they treat it like an actual store. So Cleveland, I will say this: I've been to quite a few stadiums. Has the best team store I've ever seen. Like there's two levels to it. Like everything's white and modern, like marble floors and shit. It's really weird. Like in the middle, there's like a kind of a whirly gig with like basketballs going from the top to the bottom floor. You guys know me. I'm all about jerseys. So like I go straight for the authentic jerseys. I've never seen so many authentic jerseys in one store at one time. Like they had Mobley, Donnie, and Garland. Every single jersey, like variation of theirs, you could buy there. Like any size you wanted to. I'm like, this is a fucking dream for me. Like the only one they didn't have is their brand new city jersey. I was like, if they had that, I would have bought it here right now. No questions
I don't know if I've
asked.
seen those.
They've only worn them like once or twice. Like they're all blue, and then the white's got like some graffiti going down it. I'll send you a picture.
Do you got the black and orange Cavs jersey?
No, I do not. I got a Ricky Davis, like the one Bron was playing. Mm-hmm. I got a Bron one with it's like all black with the C in the middle, just the logo. Yeah. I got Darius Miles, like the maroon one from when Bron was playing. I got this one, and then I got the this is Darius Garland, and then I got Donovan Mitchell, that white one I was wearing. That's 5 for Cavs. Oh, and I got that Ron Harper jersey, B. So 6.
I was just
My
about
bad.
to
I
ask,
got 6.
I'm like, I feel like Drew was the one that had the Ron Harper jersey.
That old
like,
Ron Harper jersey from the 80s with just got like the basket for the V and the Cavs.
Those are actually one of my favorite jerseys. I always thought those were super sweet.
Did I ever tell you the story how I obtained that?
It was in like the school store, like our high school
carnival,
store, right?
like randomly, and JB won it, and I was like, "Hey man, I'll give you $35 for it." He's like, "Deal." So little did he know it's an authentic jersey. So I knew right then and there, my friends. And it leads me to my last point. Good little segue, because the one thing me and Bones both didn't notice, there is not any Bron jerseys that people wear anymore there. It's crazy to, like, I saw maybe 2 or 3 Bron jerseys. You know what I saw way more of? Can you guess? Old player.
Kyrie?
Nope.
Bob Sura.
I saw one of those.
Damn right you did.
Take one more guess, Gerard. Old, I'm talking 80s.
80s.
And 90s. 80s and 90s he played. He played against Jordan.
I know. I'm trying to... What's that? What's his name?
He may have my complexion.
I know. I know exactly who you... Oh, I can't think of his name. What's his name?
Mark Price.
Mark Price, yeah.
Yeah. Dude, tons of Mark Price jerseys. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And then...
hey, that's Ohio for you.
Bro, there was a lady who was wearing an old 80s red all-star Mark Price jersey. I'm like, where did she find this?
Wow.
Like, that's a gem. And then, so the thing we noticed most, people are really, really bought into this era. Yeah, they're the number 1 seed, but they've been in the playoffs consistently for a couple of years. Mm-hmm. So, like, dude, the amount of jerseys Donnie's getting and merch sales, it better be helping out his family. Like, that alone, because everybody had a Donnie. And then everybody had a Mobley and a Garland. Like, it's dope to see that. Like, the biggest thing I've always criticized the Pistons about, every time they make the playoffs, they don't do the color wear shit. Like, you know, they give away, like, all blue or all red to a team and, like, just free shirts and wear it all night. Pistons have never done that for anything. Like, people are in there and just, you know, wearing random-ass clothes and shit, like street clothes. Like, they don't really support like other teams do. We were in Denver after a game. Every single person in the city had on Nuggets gear. It was crazy. Like,
oh, sweet.
I saw 2 people with K jerseys. So, and then a random one. I saw a guy wearing an old Reggie Jackson jersey for the Pistons. So
that's random.
Yeah.
And
that's
then
random as hell.
The thing me and Bones look at every stadium, who's wearing the most outlandish jersey. Sure enough, as we were leaving, there's a kid wearing a Jalen Hurts jersey. Like, why even put on sports?
I hate when people do that.
Why even wear anything?
I see that at Lions games too, because it's like they just feel like because you at a sporting event, you got to wear a jersey. Like, I'm like, why are you wearing it?
To me, that makes sense going to a Lions game and just rocking your favorite football player's jersey.
No, I'm saying
the
I've
same
seen
sport.
basketball jerseys at Lions
Oh
games.
yeah, bro.
I'm like, why are you doing that?
And
Like,
I was gonna say like, no, that don't make no
The
sense.
worst one I've ever seen to this day, I saw a kid at a Tigers game wearing a New Jersey Nets Vince Carter jersey. I'm like, why? Like,
Why?
that's not even close to anything.
Yeah,
Like, I could see if maybe you had a Raptors one and you came, like, from Windsor, but even then, that's pushing it. Like, so that was my Cleveland experience, boys. It was a great time, and next year we're going to go to Indiana to see a Pacers-Pistons game. So we're starting the tradition.
I will say, my personal favorite downtowns is downtown Indianapolis. So
Never been.
I think you're gonna have a good time. So for
I'm
sure.
I'm down for that. Like, and then the year after that, we're playing in Chicago. I've been there way too many times. I hate that fucking city, but gotta see a Pistons
I don't know.
game.
I think I might be a hater too because I think Chicago is overrated. But
Super overrated.
a lot of people love Chicago.
Dude, it's just
I'll
once
never
you
understand
go 15 times, it's overrated. Like,
Yeah.
I've been in that city way too much, and I'm just get me out of this fucking city.
Yeah, I go to Chicago and I be like, yeah, Chicago cool. But I was like, it's not something that I've never seen before.
I'd never want to live here. Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm like I don't understand but people like even like in the Midwest like the shopping is cool, I guess, you know what I'm saying? Like going down the Magnificent Mile and like if you want to go shopping, like that's cool if that's your thing, but like a lot of people from like Detroit or like the Midwest like they think it's like going to Chicago cuz it's a quick trip and like, it's Chicago. I'm like if you go to Detroit, it's essentially the same thing. Like, I mean, yeah. So I'm like, I don't know if I'm being a homer, but it feels the same. Like, so,
Man,
like,
you got to compare everything to Detroit right now because, like, the food alone, I was so disappointed in Cleveland. Like, we were looking up shit to, like, what's their dish? Like, what do people eat? And couldn't really find anything. Going to Detroit, dude, you can get a shawarma, you can get a coney, you can get a burger at a coney, you can get... Dude, some wings or something wherever you want. Like good ass pizza. Yeah, Cleveland. I've never even heard of somebody saying Cleveland or Ohio has good pizza.
no.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Overall, shout out to Mike. Sounds like you had a great experience. Yeah. You and Bones.
Yeah. Shout out to
great experience at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. Awful experience in the city of Cleveland.
Yeah, no, Ohio's still trash. Also, shout out to Bones, man. Got a chance to talk to him and, continue to try to improve our relationship because we've hit a rough patch. But, when the love is there, man, and both of y'all still want, that great relationship, we going to get there. So we just got to build. There. We just got to build.
Are you ready for your therapy session?
In a bit. But, Drew, how do you feel after your therapy session?
Better. It's good to get it all out in the open. It's good to laugh with you guys. Come to an overall reasoning,
There we go.
Of why I'm a sports slut. Maybe I am,
Yeah, you definitely are, but I still love you. At the end of the day, who am I to judge you for being, what you choose to be? But no, I'm glad. That's awesome, man, being able to go. I don't think I've ever actually went to a Pistons game on the road, but
that's what I'm saying. Like how it's just cool. It coordinated with this weekend. It's like right between our birthdays too. So I think we're gonna do the same time next year for Indiana if they're playing.
No, that would be super dope.
Yeah.
And I do when you mentioned being on the court. Like I remember I just posted the other day, like being courtside when the Lakers was here a few years ago, and like seeing
totally
Bron do his routine.
Yeah.
Like completely fangirling out when Bron, first of all, not even knowing if Bron was going to actually play.
Yeah.
Then he ran out the tunnel like Willis Reed, and I lost it saying, "What up, Bron?" Just embarrassing myself. So we're not the only. You're not the only sports slut, Drew.
Yeah. Okay.
When Ken Bron, I straight up turned into.
You want to see? You know what? Pizza always told me this. You want to see your favorite players while they're here and playing.
Yeah.
So Donnie's
I've never sat courtside or anywhere near the court. So. That's something I would like to experience.
Ask my cousin Mike.
We will definitely make. I don't know how, Drew, but we got to make that happen because to this
totally
day it's been. I think it's been 2 years, maybe 2 or 3. But not just to be on the court, but also like LeBron being my basketball goat, like being that close to him, seeing they were like tossing the football around, playing like football before the game, seeing their whole like intro routine, but also like you said, Drew, like.
hearing that shit down low.
You know, Bron is listed at 6'8". You know, AD is like 6'11". But like, you see those guys, and it's like, because I feel like I see football players more often, and those dudes are big, obviously. But like, you see a basketball player, like for instance, I don't know if y'all saw a video of Bron hanging with the Eagles after the game yesterday, but like AJ Brown, who was considered like a pretty
big receiver,
small wide receiver, bro, looks like a miniature poodle next to Bron. Like Darius Slade looks like a middle schooler, so it's like, damn, dude. And also, I feel like Bron might be actually taller than 6'8". Like, you see him next to people
6'9",
bro, like even 6'8", 6'9", damn near looks like closer to 6'10". But just like to be that close to him, but also like you said, like we all play pickup basketball. Man. And I was just thinking about this the other day, Dry. You had talked about your boy that was in that picture with I think it was D Rose, I think.
What D Rose? Yeah.
So, like, I was thinking of this the other day. Like, so we all play pickup basketball, obviously, but you know when you go to like a dope ass pickup run or maybe like college, and you're like, damn, dude, like, obviously I've been around basketball players that could hoop, but like to see a collective of like everybody cold, but then think of Dry, your boy, how he was one of the elites, and we've seen people like Ray McCullum, who used to go to like I think Country Day, and like knowing people that have been in the NBA, but like Ray McCullum got to the NBA. And I'm not trying to bash him or anything, but he looked like a role player. Yeah. But knowing how cold he is in high school and college, just like, dude, just imagine like.
Do you remember when John would bring up Jonas Jerebko and Ira Newble?
Ira Newble, another dude. Huge, like seeing how tall he is in person, seeing the drills, it looks like they hooping on fucking Fisher Price, dude. Like, remember the running joke with LeBron back in the day when he had the fast break dunk? So like to see that up close, but also like. You also realize, like, it's almost like this, seeing them look mortal because they're, like, so close to you. Like, they don't seem like just something on TV. It's like, it's nothing like it. It almost don't seem real, to be honest with you. I remember saying that, like, looking at Bron, looking at AD, and it's like, damn, dude, like, it's amazing. It's amazing. It's nothing like it. I've been to football games, and I've had decent seats, but even then, like, you're still not up close to seeing. Dude, football is completely different. And then you realize stuff like you hear players talk about the like how there's nothing behind a rim, like no wall. You know, usually at like a gym, there's like a wall, the rim. Yeah. Like you don't have that. So I forget what they referred to, but
depth perception.
Depth perception. Thank Gerard, you are an angel. But like to be there and be like, damn, there's really nothing behind. Actually, there is something behind the rim. People like hooping, and this muff is 20,000 people. Hopefully they not booing you, but like it's crazy to think about.
The ball
man.
came right by us, like a bone stuck out his hand. He could have stopped it, but he would have been that guy who just wanted to touch the ball. But, like it's crazy. Like the lady was actually paying attention, she caught it. Like all right,
bro. Yes. So there's a time where K did an inbound. Actually, the game we went to, that was K's first triple double.
Oh shit!
And it was also LeBron's first time getting ejected from a game. After that fight.
Oh, I forgot about that. So,
seeing that up close, it's like, damn, like, you see football players run over people, but seeing Beef Stew 6'10" running over 15 security guards, it's like, dog, if these players really wanted to, like, fight and it was on, like, some hockey shit, like, ain't nobody being able to break. Yeah, like, ain't nobody able to break up fights with people that big. Like, good luck, especially the refs. Like,
how long ago was that game, B, when you went to it?
Either 2 or 3 years ago.
It's funny because Beef Stew just got ejected tonight already, so same shit from 3 years ago.
Some things don't change. Yeah. Some things don't change.
Oh, bro, the people in Cleveland hate him. He's got a bad. I mean, shit, he's playing like Draymond Stewart at times. Like,
yeah, no.
Oh man.
Hey, I like those guys when they're on your team. When they're not, they're annoying as shit.
Yeah.
So, but no, I'm glad you had a great time, man.
It was dope.
Wanted to transition. I have my notes here before I get to Did You Knows. I want to run something by y'all. I was thinking it was disappointing after the song came on the radio, and y'all probably gonna judge me, but like, I just want y'all to hear me out. But it was the song with A Boogie with a hoodie and featuring Tekashi 6ix9ine, Swerving. And you listen to that song, it's like, you know what's really disappointing about all the shit behind Tekashi 6ix9ine? Like, he actually was talented. Like,
he had some energy behind his music. Yeah.
Bro, he had energy. Like, I'm not going to get into, like, the bars and shit, but, like, he actually had skills and talent to where he didn't need to do the shit that he did. And it's just like one of those, like, I wonder what it would have been like if he actually like focused on the music and didn't like get into all the alternative shit, I guess. But like, damn, bro, like it's so easy. Well, not easy, but you get on and it's like, okay, how long will you stay there? Like, will you be able to maintain? Will you be able to not fuck it up? And I was just thinking, like, what could have been? So I'm curious what y'all think.
I just think people should be themselves. I think that's the best thing I could say is just be yourself. Tekashi was a good kid. You know what I'm saying? He signed with dudes that was gang affiliated, so he felt like he had to do the same thing. And when those dudes start doing like grimy stuff towards you, as a civilian, because your real mind is to be a civilian, the first thing you thought to do was when the feds come to tell. You know what I'm saying? And that's what he did, you know, and as civilians, like, that's what you do. Like, you tell the truth. You tell what happened to you. But if you're going to put yourself in a gang-affiliated lifestyle, then that's not what you're supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying? Then why would you put yourself in that predicament? So, like, he should have just stuck to music instead of doing all that extracurricular shit. You know what I'm saying? And we see what happened. So, you know,
that's such a great point. And like you said, with civilians, I mean, yes, but even thinking beyond this, which I don't, you know, like you said, if you're going to portray that lifestyle or act like you're really a part of it, like, don't switch up when the heat is on. Right. But even beyond that, like, the trolling, you know, he went out of his way to, like, troll so many different artists, which, don't get me wrong, like, that's cool.
He felt like he was protected. Like, if you know, B, you could be standing in front of Floyd, Mike Tyson, and you know you got 100 dudes behind you, you're going to feel like the biggest dude in the room. You ain't going to feel no type of pressure. You know what I'm saying? And then when those dudes, like, when you ain't got nobody behind you, you seeing he stayed in the house. Like, you know what I'm saying?
He went to the gym and got fucked up in the locker room. Like, at a certain point, like, you control all you want, blah, blah, blah. But, like, I was just thinking, like, bro, if he literally just stuck to music, like, kind of stayed out the way, he had the talent to, you know, who knows what could have been. But literally, just was in a vehicle that song came on. I'm like, bro, things could have been completely different. So hopefully, this is a lesson. Anybody, you know, listening, like Gerard said, bro, just be yourself.
Be yourself. Yeah.
He got in way too deep, super pause, and career was never the same. So
that video was very damaging when it came out.
Bro, the video of him on it. I always think about the meme of when he's in court and it's like, you know, now that I think about it, like, I always think about that shit. So that shit cracked me up. So, man, like, you hate to see, I just hate to see wasted talent, bro.
I was going to say, I wasn't a fan of his, but I couldn't deny that he had bops, you know? Like, he did have
I wasn't a fan either, bro. But, like you said, shit, if you recognize somebody's got, like, a decent flow and, like, you know, he had his own fan base, like,
he had the potential to surprise me with an album, you know, but it's never going to happen now.
He had a song called, I forget what the song is called, but it was with Tory Lanez. And I think he also had another song that had Bobby Shmurda rapping on it from jail.
That's another guy, super talent after one big hit, you know, and then people expected the world when he got out and just a dud, you know?
Yeah, but Bobby's restricted. He can't really do too much. So
I was gonna say I don't want to disrespect Bobby. Man, you didn't disrespect for clarity, by the way, Drew. But like, I just want our listeners to know, like, Bobby did the complete opposite of what Tekashi did.
He didn't snitch.
He was offered less time. If he turned on his man, he was like, "Nah, I'm gonna ride it out." So hey, and then what the crazy part is, Bobby held it down and got out of jail and started to enjoy life, like dancing to songs, still got slandered. Like, yo, why is he dancing like this? It's like, bro, to Gerard's point, and maybe it's the name of this episode, just be yourself. Like, people gonna have something to fucking say no matter what you do. So I wasn't expecting Bobby to get home and all of a sudden drop banger after banger. Like, we have to stop expecting people to get out of jail and go back to, like, exactly what they used to do. Like, bro, that's a life-changing situation. There was pictures, you know, taken of when he got in fights, hella blood around. Like, bro, it changes your mental. So I'm glad he got out. Seen him be on the right track, hasn't gone back, which, by the way, is not discussed enough. Like,
that's amazing.
It's damn near designed for you to go back with all the stipulations you have. So, bro, shout out to Bobby Shmurda, man. And I actually did hear some of his music that I enjoyed, but
it wasn't bad. Like,
like
after you spend what he was. He was locked up for 8 years, right? He was so like and he went to jail when he was on fire, you know what I'm saying? And then to be locked up for 8 years and come out, you know, I couldn't expect him to like blow up off the rip like that. I just, you know, he'll be it is what it is. Sometimes your time just pass. So.
Yeah.
Bro, he don't have to make another song. Like he had his career. I just hope he stays out of trouble, stays healthy, but that's all I'm concerned about. So man, just crazy to think about those things, man. What could have been? So Did You Know's got a lot of notes in here. Spotify and Universal Music Group, UMG, signed a multi-year deal as part of UMG's Streaming 2.0 plan. The agreement could result in a new super premium subscription tier with perks like early music access, exclusive deluxe editions, high-res audio, and artist Q&As. It also establishes a direct publishing license agreement between Spotify and UMG, aiming to increase royalty payouts and ensure stronger protections for artist revenues. What do y'all think about that?
I saw that shit, and like, no disrespect, it just made me feel like they do not give a fuck about this damn Drake case at all. They doubled down on that shit, like, you know. But I hate it, you know, because streaming sucks. Period. And they just pouring more money into it, like. And I really hate streaming because there's no real way to track it. You know, like it's whatever the streaming companies say that goes, and then the artists don't get paid fairly. You know what I'm saying? It's not one stream equal $1. You know, like that's not how it works. You know, when we bought CDs and you buy vinyls and stuff, you can actually physically track those type of sales. With streaming, they can trump the numbers any type of way they want to. So that's why I hate streaming, because it's not fair. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, I hate it, and it just means that the world is just leaning towards that as a business model for the foreseeable future. So.
Gerard, let me ask you: in a perfect world, what would your alternative be, or what would your, I guess, answer be to counter streaming?
I would want artists to. I don't know what the exact. I would have to figure out an algorithm to where artists can get paid fairly that equates to like buying a CD, instead of like you got to listen to one song 15 million times for it to add up to one listen or something. Like, I don't think you should do that. But I would want artists to know exactly how they can make money off of their music through streaming. You know what I'm saying? It not be in the hands of the major labels or the major streamers like Spotify and Apple Music and stuff like that, because that's where the money is going through, and there is always going to be a middleman. So I won't want the artists to like, because it seems like now artists don't know how they're going to get paid. You know, you tell them a number and they have to find a way to where that they meet those metrics as far as streaming, and I think that's unfair. So like I would want them to, like they said in what you just read in the press clippings, that better ways for artists to get paid. I would really want to see them do that. Like, so.
Yeah. With the announcement, that was my biggest takeaway. Is like, okay, you guys say this and it sounds good, but like, what's the reality? Because we know like their main priority, like you say, isn't to pay artists. So I'm just curious. But I also thought about like how we discussed with football, like in order to watch this game, you got to get this service and blah blah. Like, I don't want to be in a world where, hey, if you got Spotify, you're able to listen to this album a week early versus, you know, Apple. Like, I feel like that it's inevitable, you know.
But the world is a revolving circle, because that's how it started. I don't know if y'all remember. So you remember, it was Apple Music did this once. Like, U2 had an album that just downloaded on your phones, and then Jay-Z, when he released Magna Carta Holy Grail, it was through Samsung. So like you were able to get the album a week early through if you had a Samsung phone, and you were able to download it through that. So like that's how the streaming thing like boomed. Like that's how artists signed with certain streaming companies. Oh, this is a Spotify exclusive. Oh, this is an Apple exclusive. This is a Tidal exclusive. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's now what they're starting to implement now. And since UMG is in bed with Spotify, the only type of people that sign to UMG will be able to exclusively release stuff through Spotify. So now I'm expecting Apple Music to combat that. Like, they're going to find a way to do the same thing.
Who's Apple? Does Apple have like a...
No, but they can sign directly to artists. So like they'll just say artists, like, sign us an exclusive deal, and it doesn't matter if you're signed to UMG or whatever. Like, we can figure out some channels to divert that. But yeah, that's all it's gonna be coming. It becomes a big mess. Like us, most fans are not like us who we try to understand the business. They just want their music.
Yeah.
But
They don't
a
think
lot of
about the
people a lot of people who like trying to figure it out and care about artists, we're like, damn, so how they getting paid? You know what I'm saying? Like how they gonna benefit from this? Like that's why we talk about like owning your masters. Where does that get you if the streaming companies really have all the power? Like what does it do?
Shit, we also saw that trend of people selling their masters back to companies, so it's like, okay, interesting. Drew, I wanted to give you a chance. What do you think about the deal? And
everything Gerard said pretty much.
I was going to say, I heard you kind of basically agreeing with Gerard, so I was curious what you guys would think about that.
I don't like it because it's just another platform you'd have to download if that shit does happen, you know? Like,
yeah.
You know, we're in the business of we want to hear these albums just as quick as anybody else, so, like, I'd hate to say it, but I'd probably open up a Spotify account to, you know, hear something a week early.
I mean, that's the thing, like, we complain about it at the end of the day, like, later in my notes I have the Netflix price going up, like, we complain about it, but at the end of the day, all there's, you know, shareholders, like, they're happy because they know it's going to create, like, man, I could go on and on, but it's just, wow, it's crazy to think about. Like you said, Gerard, everybody kind of copies each other. So definitely seeing it with sports. It's only a matter of time before you see it even worse with music. So buckle up. 2 Chainz, Larry June, The Alchemist, Life is Beautiful album announced to be releasing on February 7th. Thoughts?
I'm excited because there's other shit releasing February 7th, too. February is actually going to be a good month, and so is this Friday. Give me one sec. I just saw the other day there's a ton of stuff coming out. Lil Durk's dropping a new one. It's February 21st. Roddy Ricch is coming out on February 21st. ESTG's Friday. Weekend is Friday. Tyga's is coming out February 7th.
Yeah. He got a new single out.
Yeah.
That shit is hard.
He was talking about it, wasn't he? Pop It Up. Somebody was talking about it. No, it's him and Wayne.
Yeah, him and Wayne. Yeah. That shit tough.
I don't lie. I always fucking Tyga. Like
he makes good albums, dude.
Like he's corny, but at the same time, like can't nobody ever say Tyga don't make hits.
I'm not gonna lie that his debut album, that Gold album, was fire, dude. It was a great album. And then Hotel California or something was the second.
Yeah, that was fire.
Good album. Good album. Even his third album, nobody listened to it, but it was a good album. Like,
bro, he's got mixtapes that are amazing.
Fire.
Like, he's
that Chris Brown Tyga fan of a fan. That shit fire, bro.
That's a good album. What else? There was one more. No, that's it for hip hop.
You had mentioned it. I mean, it's not an official announcement, but you had mentioned there's kind of been rumors of possibly Drake and Party Next Door.
February. Friday.
On Friday.
To rival Weekend.
The 31st.
Did you mention the Weekend officially dropping on Friday?
Yeah, it's confirmed.
Weekend is dropping Friday for sure.
Which is dope.
No, I would like the pettiness of that move. I'm obviously going to listen to the Weekend. I'm curious though because we kind of already talked about the Weekend album.
Weekend got me locked in because what he's been doing with this album, what he's been doing with this album is intertwining trilogy in this, and I'm like, dog, if he go back to that sound.
Listen,
I
went back because I wasn't the biggest.
Shit,
I wasn't the biggest fan of After Hours. The past couple weeks, I've been going back to that album little by little. I'm like, damn, this isn't bad. Like it spawned a lot of singles that I didn't realize at the time. So, Dawn FM is incredible. Like 10 out of 10 to me still. So
I still listen to so many songs off of the shit. I listen to Jim Carrey doing his little. Routine. What was it? 40 seconds, I think. Just acting like he was a disc jockey. Like the story of
I pour myself in gasoline. Oh bro, my god! Like,
the story of was it Quincy Jones?
Yeah,
talking about basically like seeing his mom taken away, like ruin how he viewed relationships with women, like for the rest of his life. Like, man, that was such a good album.
Less Than Zero is I'd play the piss out of that song still, and then the Here We Go with Tyler I still play. Like, dude, it's phenomenal.
My song is
Take My Breath. Like, dude, such a good album.
Out of Time is the one that
Out of Time is fire.
Like Gerard was saying, I hope he follows this theme now and just evolves it to another level with this. Because
he used one clip that says tomorrow is coming or whatever, and he played Morning was the background music to show his career from the beginning to where it is now. I'm like, dog,
we might be getting a masterpiece.
Yeah. Like,
to be honest, I don't even need. I feel like we've gotten so much from the weekend.
Yeah.
Like, even if it's a good album, I'm just talking about the albums that we went back and listened to, Drew. And I had a song that came on shuffle from one of the Baloo albums, and it was just funny because remember I talked about listening to those songs, and it's like something starts to hug, like it's an experience you can't explain. So a shuffle song came on, and some of those feelings and emotions came back. I'm like, bro, what is it about the weekend? Is it the
sound,
drugs?
man.
Like, what is it about? It just felt good for some reason. So I'm like, bro, I'm excited for the album. So yeah,
you know what it is for me. And Gerard and I were talking about this with Tyler's album. Weekend's another guy who's mastered the sound of synth in his music. Like.
Yeah,
when he did the Tron shit, dude, it's perfect. Like, that's his voice, like futuristic. You know, you look forward to the weekend kind of shit like that. No pun intended, but like, it's dope to see that he did a trilogy of mixtapes, and now more mature and evolved as an artist. He's killing it on the album side with the trilogy. Like, that's impressive. Like you said, no matter if it's shit or not, like even if it's mid, it's gonna spawn 3 or 4 singles. You know. You may not realize it on the first listen, but they'll be on the radio in a month or two. Like, honestly,
I don't think it'll be anywhere near mid. I just think even if it's just good, maybe not a classic, maybe not the best album or top 10, like, I'm okay with that.
Still appreciate it.
Yeah, I feel like, and this is possibly a future topic we can get into, but like, just artists that have perfected, like, I want to say their craft, but that's not detailed enough. But like we mentioned with Tyler. Like, he knows his fans.
Their sound,
He knows his sound. The album rollouts, like, The Weeknd has basically perfected, whether it's, even his Super Bowl performance, like, it fit The Weeknd and, like, who he is, like, his album. So, I don't know what I would call that topic, per se, but, like, kind of like how you mentioned with, you guys mentioned with Tech Nine a while ago, like, knows his fan base, knows what he's good at, knows what he's not, like, just perfected it. And
honestly, a master of his own art. That's how I'd word it, you know?
Yeah, masters of his own art. Like, there's no, like, kind of, not to keep mentioning him, but how we kind of discussed Drake and kind of you guys' frustrations. Like, I don't really hear people say that with The Weeknd. The only slander I've heard from The Weeknd was a person that said they weren't a huge fan because they feel like they don't actually like his voice, which, I mean, I get that because I have certain artists like that. But at the same time, like, I'm amazed, especially being able to go back and listen to those mixtapes, thinking of all his albums, like, man, like, Starboy, Drew, like, phenomenal. Bro, that was an amazing album that I used to listen to during those commutes.
I'm telling you, if it was 100% produced by Daft Punk, it would have been top 10 albums of all time.
Bro,
it's still phenomenal.
Going back and forth from downtown Detroit to Ipsy, used to just put that on and put on Future's song or Future's album. It actually does have The Weeknd on it too, the one I'm referring to. Those are the two I used to just ride out to. So, yeah, shout out to Weeknd. Looking forward to this upcoming music being released.
Gerard, on the way home from Cleveland, I played Bones Chromacopia for the first time. He fucking loved it. He was like...
Loved it.
He was telling, like, you know, we were chatting just a little bit during the album, but after, he was like, more artists need to take a note from him and just... One, incorporate more music into their music. Don't just have a song that's A to B and it's done. Have a song that's A, B, C, can go to J, K, Z sometimes, you know? Like, just add a little more to your craft. And I hate to slander B, but right now I don't want to go off too much about it, but he was like, Drake could never. And I stopped him. I was like, no, Drake can. He just hasn't. He can. Yeah, and to be the megastar he is, he should. That's why I hope he's creating something meaningful right now, you know? So, but I just, he loved Chromacopia because I played him now, Flower Boy, Call Me If You Get Lost, and Chromacopia, and I think this one's his favorite now, but like, we were just saying like how Tyler now is a guy who's mastered his own sound, you know? Like, he knows his sound, but he also knows how to evolve his own sound, and like, more artists need to really dig in their bag and just see what they can create, like, the biggest point I liked what Bone said is like, just he's so sick of songs on the radio now that just go from A to B and it's over. 2-minute
just
songs, forgettable.
Like, I mean, B sent us something in the group chat where Doechii said, her song got placed on Billboard Top 10, right? Or something like that. I think it was like 8 or something like that. And she was like, that song is like about a dark part in her life, and she just made it creative. Like, it has no hook.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a story all the way through. You know what I'm saying? Like, about her talking to her therapist. That's good, though. That's something that people love, because that's something like you can latch on to, and like it stands out. Yes, it resonates and it stands out amidst all the other stuff that sound the same. Like, so
exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put most of the blame on artists as well as record labels, but also at the same time, I'll also put a little blame on fans. More so because as we continue. Don't even get me started with people making a mockery out of TikTok being gone for all of what I don't even think it was a day, but
12 hours.
Yeah, like
man.
But like with the TikTok songs, with social media, and with everything basically shortening our attention spans. Drew, you mentioned, and with Bones, y'all point, instead of being A to B, kind of A to B to C to D, but like attention spans. If you put certain songs on the radio. Depending on who's listening, they're gonna be like, "Man, I want to hear this," and turn the radio station to the easiest, plainest, catchy song. So like, we can ask the artist to do that, but at the same time, like, we have to kind of raise our standards a little bit, and like we're doing now with the podcast. Like, what do we really want? Like, I find myself, and I was talking to my friends earlier, like, we went through the phase of sports where it was like, okay, everybody's looking for the hot take, everybody's looking for debates, arguments. It's like, we've kind of moved past that now. I feel like everybody, or I'm going to speak for myself, the Amazon Prime vision, like really educating the viewers on what they're watching, going over like defensive coverages, schemes, like stuff like that. Like Dan Orlovsky, how he breaks down certain things. Like, I'm past the hot take argument point. Like, we've been there, done that. That's cool. And maybe it's just a part of, maturing. But at the same time, like, I want to actually be educated when I watch certain things and also be entertained. So if I'm watching basketball, like you said, if we had access to being able to hear certain players on the court, being able to hear why this player's, metrics indicate they're a better player than this one, but also not getting lost in the analytics where it's like, this is all we have to go off of. Because, everybody likes to debate certain things with football and pro football talk, but it's like, you got to also watch the game too. So just balance. But no, I could go on and on, but
just to tap on that point, what we lost because JJ Redick wanted to be a coach? That podcast with him and Brown was gold, man.
Yes, it was.
Because we could have learned so much more about why basketball is being played the way it is right now, to understand like those concepts. Because JJ was breaking that shit down, and that's when like we knew how smart he was, like when he did that podcast, and he did 6 fucking episodes, like, and got like, dog, we lost out on that as a media, like those of us who like listen to media, because nobody else is doing that type of shit. But that's like what you're talking about is like stuff that we need. We hear people arguing all the time, but to sit down and talk to somebody like, hey, this is why this works. Like when we watch Peyton Manning when he did his thing, or when we watch Kobe Bryant when he broke down plays like that. That shit is cool, man.
Bro,
here's
it's
the
amazing.
thing, though. Like, we actually watch that shit, and I hate when younger generations like base shit off highlight films. That's where I miss the kids from our generation who had the big old binders full of stats, and they'd whip that thing. Like Rashawn, shout out Rashawn. Or that one kid we went to school with, but he'd just whip out a big old binder full of every player's stats.
Oh, like you had to have facts behind. We all grew up in a generation where even if you had debate class, like you couldn't just throw out no bullshit. You had to cite your sources, like, and you couldn't say Wikipedia. Like you had to have legitimate sources. So it's just
translate to music though, and I hate that. Like it's all hot takes and music now. Who had the last best album is the best artist ever.
Like when I have we have those episodes where I ask you guys, like, tell our listeners what an actual bar is. Like, how do you like measure music? Like, educate people, because at the end of the day, it just seems like the arguments, the hot takes, like that's lazy shit. Even somebody you used to hear athletes say like, "Oh, the media don't know what they're talking about." Well, guess what? Is athletes now a part of the media? and they're giving their hot takes, and they played the game, and it don't make no type of sense. Like
None.
I forgot what I heard the other day. I heard a trade on. Oh, somebody I forget who it was, but somebody said that OKC should trade Chet for.
Oh, I saw that.
Oh, I
shit.
seen that.
For KD, like,
but yeah.
bro, like, what? If I get it, nostalgic, bringing back old memory, but like, why would OKC trade Chet when they have literally like 10 first-round picks over the next 3 years?
Whoever posted it, someone's like, "Dude, please stop playing 2K." Like,
bro, like, and these are people because you always hear like, "Oh, y'all don't know what y'all talking about," but like,
dude.
I heard fucking Paul George talking about or talking with Andre Drummond about how the trade of Drummond helped spearhead the change of the Pistons movement. It's like, bro, do you actually know what the return was for Andre Drummond? We got back John Henson, Brandon Knight, and a second-round pick. Like,
I seen that shit.
What are you talking about,
dog, that pissed me off so bad, dog. I was so mad
it's
at
like,
that.
you say something like that, nobody fact checks you, but like, because you're an NBA player, we're just supposed to go along with what you say. But it's like, no, like, hopefully this gives more respect to the Bill Simmons, who I don't know why I thought of him first, but like just all the people in the media that may not have played, but like are part of the media. And it used to be like, oh, you never played, so you don't know what you're talking. Actually, it's players
funny,
that play
man.
and don't know what the fuck they're talking about
I have
either.
no
so
idea, right?
educate yourself.
It's funny when we were at the game the other night. Me and Bones were like, "God, I wish we had Donnie on our team." I was like, "Yeah, but we wouldn't have Cade." That's exactly how it goes. Like, we'd be good enough to not get that pick.
Shit, we could have had Don. We could have had
Booker.
Dev Booker. I mean, the list goes on.
But then at the same time, I always say it wouldn't have mattered because Pistons never play their rookies.
We
no
could have
matter who it
had
is.
Donnie. We could have had Donnie.
Donnie could have
probably
been.
still could have had Cade. The Pistons decided to draft Killian Hayes over Donovan
Bro.
Mitchell. That's
No, they took Killian over
Halliburton,
right?
Yeah.
Or was that they weren't in the same draft? No, they took Luke Kennard over
Luke Kennard over Donovan
Kennard.
Mitchell.
Yep.
Which, by the way, Donovan Mitchell has been on record saying he thought Detroit was going to draft him. He didn't miss a fucking shot in his workout.
He had one of the best workouts ever.
I think it was between Luke and Donovan Mitchell.
You can thank Stan Van Gundy for that.
Yeah, but I think Stan wanted. He thought he had another JJ Redick. So
yeah, he did. And I don't think nobody's going to go back and say they knew Donovan Mitchell was going to be what he is now. There was traits, but yeah, no, that's it's impressive. But yeah, we got a little
off, but it was worth it.
Yeah, a little off the rails.
We all haven't listened to anything new, so it doesn't matter. This
it don't even matter. Yeah.
Well, let's keep it rolling. Speaking of listening, Jello, Leandro Ball, song "Tweaker" is now the #1 best-selling rap song released in 2025 in the U.S. by total units.
Wow!
Shout out to Jello. Also think he's
Jello.
actually. I think he's actually
the reason the Lions lost.
I have saw that. That's funny. I'm gonna say I'm cool with Jello because Jello and Drew, you used to say like when LaMelo Ball was getting ready for the draft, they were in the city like that whole time leading up. So
because Jermaine Jackson, he used to play for UAD with Rashad Phillips. He is LaMelo Ball's manager.
Oh, shit.
So so that's why they and he trained in the city. That's why.
Gotcha.
So they used to show a lot of love to the city. As crazy as LeVar Ball is, he did say that the Pistons was like one of the 4 teams he wanted LaMelo to go to. So, hey, Leandro cool with me.
We might get Lonzo though. You never know.
I hope so.
Get a slice of the
pie.
I'm on record.
They need
and
Lonzo.
Yeah, that would be the perfect.
They need
That'd be perfect.
And you get to take a flyer because he's on an expiring contract. But let me keep getting through these notes, man. I keep getting off track.
NBA's fun right now, B. That's why.
You said what?
I said the NBA's fun right now. That's why.
No, it definitely is. The only rappers to earn 1 billion streams on Spotify so far in 2025, Drake and Kendrick Lamar.
Wow.
2 best friends. Rap facts. Drake children. Right? Rap facts. Drake and J. Cole are the only rappers to have every one of their studio albums sell over 200,000 copies first week and go #1 on Billboard.
Dang.
That's dope.
Amazing. Speaking of dope and amazing, Mac Miller's Balloonerisms debuted at #3, selling 81,000 copies his first week. So, Drew, I wanted to shout out your boy. I know you said that album was amazing, so I still got to check it out.
I actually have a follow-up. Gerard asked me why didn't he release it. So I actually saw something since then. He was afraid to release it. He thought it wasn't good enough for the public. So that's why. So he shelved it, and then I don't know who heard it or what, but they said this album's incredible. Like the people should hear it, and it really is. So
I wonder if it was Schoolboy Q.
it might have
Because he
been.
seemed like the type to hear something like that and be like,
It might
and
have
I know
been,
I'm
you
not
know,
aware.
just one of those artist things. You're like, nah, I'm not feeling it. And just scrap it all because it sounds like Faces, which I mentioned before. So, yeah, it was just. I think it was just his personal choice not to release it.
I definitely got to check it out. Maybe I'll get caught up and listen tonight.
It's a catch-up album.
Ooh, talk to me. Central C's Can't Rush Greatness is expected to sell 35,000 first week and chart at number 9. It will break the record for the biggest sales for a UK rap album in Billboard history. And he will be the first UK rapper to chart inside the top 10 on the Billboard 200. Shout out to our bro Brian, who explained on Twitter, friendly reminder on Billboard first week sales only reflect US activity. This figure doesn't account for global streams or sales. Historically, UK rap acts have been unable to break through here. This is an impressive achievement. So, hey, I haven't listened to it yet. I know we all aren't the biggest fans of Central C.
Nobody listens
challenge
to UK
ourselves?
rap. So
Do we all take a shot and listen to it? See how far we can get?
I'll listen to it.
I'm gonna check it out eventually.
I'll listen.
But I just wanted to shout him out because whether I listen to it or not, like he's put up numbers.
Yeah.
I know this album was highly anticipated, and it looks like people are satisfied with what they heard. So, yeah, I'll definitely check it out just to get a feel for like who he is as an artist, what people
it's
are
crazy.
about.
What's
back
highly
for back.
anticipated? Yeah, like band for band made you say, "Please release an album." Like, I don't know.
Please don't release any more.
We can go bun for bun.
We could go button for button. I'm like, okay, now. All right.
Drake's "Thank Me Later" re-enters the Billboard charts this week for the first time since April. Currently has 8 albums charting, the most of any male artist.
What "Thank Me Later" song is trending on TikTok? Because that's the only reason shit like that happened. I don't know.
When I saw that, I'm like, I don't know what will make me go back to "Thank Me Later,"
Right.
but yeah, that was. People have been listening to some weird shit.
That made its rounds for a little bit.
Was that on "Thank Me Later"?
Nah, that one. That was on. That was successful. No, that was on the mixtape.
Oh yeah, so
Find
far
Your
gone,
Love.
that's
I got
right.
up now.
So far
Fireworks,
yeah.
Karaoke, The Resistance,
love that
Over,
song.
Show Me a Good Time, Up All Night, Fancy, Shut It Down, Unforgettable, Light Up.
It was a good album.
Miss Me.
Light Up's a great song.
Yeah, CC's Interlude, Find Your Love, which we've talked about plenty of times on this on the podcast, and then Thank Me Now. So
that wasn't a bad outro. That you can thank me now.
If you can thank me now, yeah.
That's the song that, dude, I played the album so much. I go right back to, I think I was a sophomore in college. Man, good times.
B, I've been singing a song off of Certified Lover Boy to Poppy.
Is it the song with Kid Cudi you love?
No, it's the very intro. I love you, I love you, I love you.
Dude,
But
that intro go hard,
it's perfect
man.
to sing to the baby.
And then when the
girl.
beat drop,
that
man.
champagne poetry. It's a beautiful song.
I'm just imagining a world where
I'll just
Poppy
be holding her,
grows
walking
up.
around. I love you, I love you, I love
Imagine
you.
a world where Poppy grows up and just takes his interest to Drake, and
Oh,
like
God.
you are hating
She's
it.
yours at that point.
Oh man, that would make my day. Lil Wayne's, I actually saw this right before we started recording and etching my notes. Lil Wayne's Dedication 1 through 4 are now on streaming platforms under the artist name of Gangsta Grills. I think I was listening to Dedication 2 before I hopped on. So shout out to Wayne. Happy 40th birthday, by the way, to J. Cole, 2-time Grammy winner. Over 120 million certified records sold in the U.S. Every album certified on the RIAA Platinum. Every album charted #1 on Billboard, and every album has 1 billion streams plus on Spotify.
Dang.
That's tough.
That's definitely tough. Also, shout out to SZA and Keke Palmer. The film One of Them Days opened with $11.6 million domestically
That shit fire.
on a $14 million budget. It is one of the highest rated comedies in the year, or in years actually, with a 97% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Not gonna lie, Gerard, I'm happy to hear you say you loved or it's fire. When I saw the trailer or the trailers, I'm like, bro, this looks like it might be corny. I don't know. But then seeing how well it did and seeing the Rotten Tomatoes score and also hearing people say it actually was good, I was definitely planning on checking it out.
It's literally you should go on a date, and for sure, it's literally a female Friday.
That's what I've been hearing.
That's literally what it
I
is.
get those vibes. So, and then also shout out to I think his name is Joshua Neal.
Oh yeah, dog,
dude.
he's incredible in there. You're gonna love him in there, dog.
I am so proud of him.
He did an amazing job. Yes,
I remember sharing clips with his skits with Gerard and just kind of continue to look out for him. But to see, he had also mentioned, like, I remember him being on social media saying how he wanted to act. Was hoping for his breakthrough. I remember when he signed with his manager.
he tweeted. Remember, I don't know if you remember, but he tweeted that he wanted to work with Issa Rae, and Issa Rae produced this film.
Yeah, he actually, I'm pretty sure he stopped making skits.
Yeah.
But he achieved his dreams, and I heard he did an excellent job. And Gerard,
he did an amazing job. Yeah,
man, so happy for him. And I mentioned it earlier, but Netflix once again raising their prices. In the United States, the ad-supported tier will cost $7.99 a month, an increase of $1, and the premium tier will cost $24.99 a month, an increase of $2. And it is insane, Drew, because I remember back in the day, gonna say on my rocking chair, when you could actually get physical DVDs as a part of your Netflix subscription, as well as stream.
Like $5.
And it was literally like $5. And to see Netflix basically be the reason why things like Redbox, things like Blockbuster no longer exist. So now they got the market, and sure enough, as we continue to see, you get the market, and guess what? You jack up the prices because the competition really can't compete. So crazy times we living in, man.
Yep.
The 2025 Royal Rumble is now the highest drawing event in pay-per-view's history, with over 60,450 tickets distributed for this year's event in Indianapolis. Thus far, this is via WrestleTix. This surpassed the attendance record held by the 1997 Royal Rumble in San Antonio. So thought that was super cool as we talk about wrestling pretty often. And also, speaking of wrestling, Triple H will headline the 2025 WWE Hall of Fame.
Wow.
During a town hall today, the company employees, he was surprised by Stephanie McMahon, The Undertaker, and Shawn Michaels with the announcement. So I want to give kudos to Triple H. We've all talked about how he's underrated during his actual career, but just the job and hearing all the wrestlers, whether they're current or retired, just talk about how he's changed the culture of the WWE. Hearing guys like Randy Orton talk about how he makes people take time off around the holidays, whereas back in the day that was unheard of in the wrestling business. So, prioritizing stuff like mental health and just making it an even more positive environment for all the wrestlers. Like, I just think he's done such an incredible job, and seeing him reach out to people like Kai Cenat, Travis Scott to continue to bring more and more people to wrestling, bro. Like, the transition to Netflix, the sky's the limit. And we're seeing a lot of people getting back into wrestling. So it's really dope.
Not to mention, in ring, he's one of the best pure wrestlers ever, too. Like, his technique was spot on.
Bro, one of the most hype pops I've ever heard was when he came back after the injury, Madison Square Garden, actually, and had the jean jacket on and the vest, took everything off, and was yoked. Yeah. I don't know if he did all that in the gym. I'm going to just leave that alone today. Shout out to Triple H, man. Like you said, one of the best to do it in the ring. And last but not least, Abbott Elementary has been renewed for season 5. So
nice.
Shout out to one of the shows we all enjoyed.
Yes.
Drew, did you have any nuggets that you wanted to add?
I got one. R.I.P. DJ Unk. We forgot to mention that.
Definitely a good one.
That's sad as hell.
Pivotal during our high school times. I believe you were probably in college then, Gerard. Will Walk It Out came out, but R.I.P. Yeah, I looked the first 2 days and I couldn't see anything of why he passed. I haven't looked since. If you guys have seen it.
He had
just a heart attack.
Heart attack.
Oh,
I didn't know in 2009 he had a heart attack, and which is why, like, after
I didn't know that either.
His hits came out, he wasn't really releasing good music, so he already had a congenital heart disease this whole time. That's why he didn't use drugs, he didn't drink because he would have died. So he lasted from 2009 until now with that heart disease, and he passed away in his sleep.
42, 43 years
43 years old.
43, way too young. Yeah. Way too young.
That's sad. Thank you for adding that, Drew. Definitely had it in my notes. Let's get into what have we listened to, watched, and or played.
Should we all skip what we listened to?
We can. We're going to skip it. This is where we actually have our therapy session, Drew. I was
It's
talking to you
just-
guys earlier in the week, and I'm actually at a point where I don't know. And Drew, you kind of made a good point in our group chat. I don't know if it's because we go so hard at the end of the year and ranking albums and listening to music to where like when the new year starts is like kind of needing a break type of thing, or if the music right now really ain't nothing being released, ain't nothing hitting, ain't nothing captivating. So I want to have a therapy session and see what we thought.
It's a couple things, because the industry shuts down during Christmas, so like all the way up until basically the second week of January. Well, the second week of January, the California fires happened, so a lot of people pushed their shit back. So now we're at the end of January and we ain't heard shit since before Christmas. So like we really like, damn, ain't nothing gonna come out for real. Like,
It usually doesn't though. Even if there's no disaster or anything, there's usually I mean one album. Like I think last year 21 Savage released in January or something, and then the year before that, Corday released Bird's Eye View. So give us some substance, but like that's why I said February 7th and 21st are going to be jam packed with albums, and this Friday. So
it's like it's coming. Super pause, but it's just like while waiting.
That was crazy. That was crazy.
My bad. We listen and we don't judge. Well, Drew, what's your thoughts, man? Let's air it out. What you think?
So it's kind of what I told you though, that there is shit to listen to. I feel like now's the time to go back and hit all those albums that you didn't from before. Like, was it Doechii was the main one we were talking about? You had Joyner on your list. Like, now's the time to get all those listened to before shit starts ramping up and it's hard to keep up. But like, the biggest release I remember is when ASAP released his debut album. It was January 15th. It was my birthday. But like, dude, that was like one of the biggest releases I've seen in probably the past 10 years.
And that was smart because he knew wasn't nothing coming out.
Like, he had a smash single with fucking Problems, and then the whole album was fire, dude. Like, so yeah, that's smart to do. I feel like more people should release in January, but I mean, it's smart.
Now we up here contemplating listening to Central C. That's how you know we depressed. Like
that don't signify depression. I don't know what we're.
That's not the truth, though, Gerard. Like,
that's such a good point.
It's dope that we were talking about like albums we wanted to hear this year and weekends about to release this Friday. But like, think if Drake, who is it? Drake and 2 Chainz, or who was it? Drake and Party. Imagine if they actually do release Friday. Like, that'll be one of the biggest releases in January ever.
A great start to a musical year.
And so.
And then I just want to add, how I kind of mentioned how sometimes I just like don't listen to music and maybe like get into, I don't know, watching TV and stuff. Like, I feel like that's okay. Like, I'm getting to a point where I don't force myself to listen to stuff at certain times. Like, right now I'm kind of in my watching movies and TV show bag. And that's okay because I know when stuff, music comes out, like, then I'll get back into my music heavy. So, but I do want to note, Drew, you mentioned Corday. One of his songs from his last album came on shuffle the other day, and I'm like, like I feel like maybe he released. Like, imagine if Corday was to release, say, like last week or a week or 2 weeks ago. Like, does that change how we view the album? Because when he released, we already had heard like a full year, and it was kind of towards the end.
It was too late for him at that point.
But listening to the song, I'm like, bro, this is. Like we said, like this is really good music, and I think one of the songs, it was actually one of the shorter ones we talked about. We wish it was a bit longer. So I'm like, damn, like was it bad timing on his part? But at the same time, I don't think Corday is an artist where he's like, pressed by his numbers. Like he talks about that on the Breakfast Club. So but I'm like, damn, dude, some of these songs was really good. So Shuffle more so than anything has been, getting me by because every certain songs I listen to, then I go down a rabbit hole, but. I've been pretty much in my Sam Cooke bag lately, so
I feel like the way we do things, like you said, like we jam pack in 15 albums damn near at the end of the year, like that's a lot, and it's pretty like I always look at it as like a chore kind of at the end of the year. Like I have to re-listen to these, else I can't make a valid point on them unless
you have to.
Unless I listen to them 5 times throughout the year or something. But
like we mentioned with Mexican OT, like if I didn't go back and listen to it, it'd have been one of my top 10. But
and it didn't deserve it. It
was.
But then
insane.
On top of that, though, I don't know about Gerard, but speaking for myself, like I feel like I've listened to everything I could that came out last year. Like maybe there's like a little indie album that released or something that I missed, some like little 8-track. Like Gerard mentioned Ransom or something, you know, like.
See everybody.
Hi.
Hey. Do you remember us?
Hi.
Do you remember us? Do you remember me?
Hi.
Hi.
Hey. Cassidy, do you remember me?
Yes.
Yeah, remember we were playing and hanging out?
Yes.
Oh, sorry, I'll be right back. Gotta cry.
Yes.
What's your
How's your
favorite
day?
What's your favorite song right now?
Little Handy Daddy.
What is it?
Little Handy Daddy. Sing a little Handy Daddy.
Oh, little Humpty Dumpty.
Sing a little Handy Daddy Daddy.
Yeah, sing it, Gerard. No, Gerard, sing a little Humpty Dumpty,
You
Gerard.
gotta sing, Gerard.
Say good
Bye,
night,
Cass.
Uncle Brandon and Uncle Drew.
Bye bye, Uncle Drew.
Say bye-bye to Uncle Brandon.
Bye bye, Uncle Brandon.
Have
Oh
a good
my
night.
God, I'm right.
Have a good night.
Oh,
Dude, if I ever have a daughter,
Man.
I'm gonna just be wrapped
What a
around her
sweetheart.
feet. Oh, man,
I can't wait for Poppy to start talking, man.
dude.
Like, that's Gerard. Just wait till you hear it back. That was precious. I asked her what her favorite song is right now, and she said "Little Dutty." Yeah.
Oh, that's
Now
why
it
she
makes
said
sense.
that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, she
Little
wanted you to
Humpty
sing it.
Dumpty. Little Humpty Dumpty is her favorite song.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gerard's the gangster, and he's definitely a Crip, but ain't no faking those emotions.
Oh,
baby.
no.
Yeah, I was trying to get you to sing Little Humpty Dumpty because she was somebody looking at you like, yeah, nah, don't play like sing Little Humpty Dumpty. So I was trying to get you to break. Oh, that's adorable. Oh man, that just made my day, dude. But yeah, no, Drew, I think you guys did do an excellent job of listening quite a bit last year, so I don't think it's a bad thing to necessarily take a break the beginning of the year, but then, once it starts rolling, like, back at it until the end of the year.
I think it's about to be a jam-packed year this year, especially all that shit dropping in February. Like, that might be a preview of what's coming in the summer or something, you know?
For sure. Only thing I'm not looking forward to that I guess was announced by Lil Wayne himself. He's talking about the Carter 6, I guess.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Just
After 5, man, it was just time
Bro,
to
just
end that.
name it something else. Like
Bro, please,
it could be you could yeah.
yeah.
It could have
Lord.
just been named 6. Like you don't have like
Literally, like Lil Wayne's newest album. Like, that's all we do.
right.
Oh man, but yeah, is there anything else y'all want to talk about in kind of the lull of music in our therapy session before we get into what we watched?
Nah, I know something is coming soon, pause, but right now it ain't nothing. I
It
know
was
that
nice.
that was crazy. I know
was
that was crazy.
It was nice hearing Chromacopia again and showing somebody for the first time. It was nice to hear that, like, because it was my number 1 from last year, so, like, I think he understood why after hearing it, so.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's actually a good album to listen to on a road trip.
It is, yeah.
No, that's dope. So yeah, like I don't haven't listened to much, but I've been watching a ton. So I don't know if y'all just want me to go through them.
Rattle 'em.
First thing I watched was Antoine Fisher, which I've always
Oh,
seen
yes, we have to talk about
in
that.
bits and pieces, or like not bits and pieces necessarily, but not from the beginning. Like used to always be on TNT. You can catch it like halfway through, or like not from the beginning. So long story short, watch that on YouTube for free. Never realized that Denzel actually directed the movie too. So like knowing he was acting in it, but like, dude, I actually wanted to ask you guys, like, just the inspiration from that movie, like.
It's the Black Good Will Hunting. That's what it is.
Dude, perfect analogy. I think you actually said that when we had Larry, when we interviewed Larry.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Dude, like the amazing job that Derek Luke did in that movie, bro. Like, I found myself, and it probably was like because I was high, but like, just imagine the job that you have to do as an actor to convince people that no, it's not real. This story, like. Getting them to get to a point where emotionally, like, they're fully into the story. They're fully emotional, like, bro.
Hey, that scene where he walked back up to the house of the girl that was touching him.
Bro.
I came back to let you know I'm better now. You can't hurt me no more.
Bro.
I'm still standing.
Bro, like the fact that the lady came up to the door, like, like he was supposed to be like open arms, like he didn't forget what the fuck you did to him. Like, bro, it was so crazy, but so powerful. Then it just kind of tells a story of like when you go through, childhood trauma, like that stuff can have impacts on you, like how he's always fighting.
Yep.
And then finally, it took one person to be invested, be like, all right, like we got to do these sessions, so hey, you can sit here and not talk about. But like Denzel's character, also, like I was very moved by his acting because here he's this calm, collected therapist, got all the answers. But then you see his home life and how his marriage, was kind of going down the drain. But also, like, knowing in the movie they were planning the pregnancy, the miscarriage, and like how that can impact a person to kind of withdraw from a relationship. So, like, to hear him, you see Antoine Fisher, he's the main character. But the thing that moved me the most was when they had that talk at the end, and Denzel thanks him for changing the way that he treated his wife. And like restoring his man, bro, it's such a powerful movie. Surprisingly, I did not cry, only because like the most emotional parts. You would think, based on how moved I was from the movie, I would have cried, but I surprisingly didn't. Only because I feel like I had seen like most of the biggest parts and still standing, still strong. But like, dude, from beginning to end, that movie is just.
I feel like it's different though when you watch it from start to finish. When that scene comes on though, because like. I'm not gonna lie, that movie still just I get waterworks every time. Like I get the jaw going like
bro,
it's something about when he's in the therapy session and he's trying to like maintain that tough guy image, and then he just breaks and you see the tears. Like, bro, like that shit's real. Like that he did such a good job in that role. But then like you said too, like with his childhood, and then he's trying to maintain like a new relationship and like how that's affecting him and just.
Didn't want to tell the chick that he was in therapy. By the way, Joy Bryant, forgot how fine she, bro, what? Oh my goodness, just
been fine all my life.
Literally, all like the Get Rich or Die Trying. I forgot. I'm like, damn, like, but it's crazy because Derek Luke and Joy Bryant. Like, I saw a recent picture of Derek Luke. He got dreads. Like,
oh shit,
I haven't really seen him.
He got locks now.
Like legit, like yes, like but he's aged, but at the same time, like, still literally looks like Black Don't Crack. I'll just leave it at that. But
I'm looking it up.
Excellent movie. You're gonna see him. It's like, dude, like they almost like.
I'll show you Gerard.
Oh shit.
I mean, it still looks like Derek Luke, but
like literally looks the same. It's just the dress. So it's like, dude,
I didn't know he's 50 years old. That's crazy.
And you would never know it, bro.
Damn. He looks like he's in his 20s. Like,
I'll never forget him as Puffy in Notorious.
Oh yeah, that's right,
bro. I ain't never seen nobody play Puffy like that. Like he legit, yeah.
But Derek Luke. So this was what 2002. So
Friday Night Lights. I say forgot about that too.
Yeah, Friday Night Lights. Yeah,
Booby Miles.
Man,
Booby Miles. Right.
Hey, Booby, you didn't live,
man.
Come on, man. It's God-given. What you mean, bro?
All I got to do is show up.
Bro, you talk about emotional. Watching that movie and him knowing he can't play football no more.
When
he started breaking down.
Oh, my God.
I can't play football no more.
Nah, that shit, I was dumb. That fucked me up.
You start rubbing your knee like, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Oh, my goodness. Such a good movie. So that was the first thing I had jotted down for what I watched.
Good movie.
Also watched Dave Chappelle's SNL monologue. I thought it was hilarious as fuck. I was hesitant to watch it for some reason. I don't know. I feel like
the skit to me was just okay with the player hater. I thought that was just okay.
Yeah, they didn't really. They just. I guess you have to be into the balloon popping shows, but like. It really wasn't that much, but Ashley Laird is funny as fuck. So
yeah, I thought it was interesting that they did the balloon popping because I thought that was just like I didn't think that was like
internet fad.
What's the word I'm looking for? I thought that was like a black people thing. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't know that many people were watching that shit for it to become an SNL skit. So I think that's probably like the people who are unfamiliar with it. They turn on like, what is this shit? You know what I'm saying? And then like, cause I started cracking up right away because I was like, oh, that's accurate. You know what I'm saying? If you've seen the balloon popping skits and stuff like that. So I like.
Well, he called for another balloon to pop it on the girl to pop the balloon. That was funny. No, that's shout out to the writers because, like you said, like if somebody in that writing room had to be like, "Yo, like I know y'all not hip, but this is pretty popular, so let's get a sketch." But no, like I thought I was very impressed with his monologue, especially at the end. Drew, I let you know. I think I put it in our chat, but been on a heavy binge of Hot Ones.
Yes, we got to talk.
Dude, I have watched so many episodes and I think it's a combination of the interviewer does such an amazing job of asking great questions.
Sean Evans is elite. Yeah.
Amazing. But at the same time, also having a love for wings and being like, damn, I'm usually caught up when I'm watching the show and I'm like, hungry. But at the same time, I don't care who you are. How I was just talking about Gerard when Baby Girl came in the room. Pusha T, as gangsta as he is, when them wings is hot, it ain't no motherfucking gangster in the world that can pretend, that can play it off. The most gangster person I've seen is Conan. Drew, to your point. But then I saw he drank a bottle, put it on his nipples, put it on his face, like tweaking, bro. But then I saw another interview of him talking about basically he went all in, but he did an amazing job because he ended up talking about like the effects of everything.
Yeah,
bro. I didn't hear him say whether or not it was worth it or not, but he definitely got fucked up. So I've watched Key and Peele was the episode I watched on there.
Nice.
They were hilarious. Like I just try to go to episodes I feel like it'll be entertaining because of the person. Will Ferrell, funny as fuck.
Funny as hell.
Vince Staples, by the way, I watched his episode. I think he has two. The one I watched was he was promoting Big Fish Theory.
Oh, nice.
Bro, just to hear like the stuff he's talking about, the stuff that he cares about at that time, and then fast forwarding and thinking of all the recent projects he dropped. But like he's still basically the same guy. He was funny as fuck. Promoted his album, bro. It's just hilarious. Jay Farrell.
Oh, nice.
By the way, let me take a step back. Vince Staples brought his own ranch to the show.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And I also didn't know he played on Snoop's football team.
Yeah.
Bro, it's such a great episode. Jay Farrell, obviously impressions top notch. We always talked about on the podcast how it was amazing with impressions, but kind of felt like he would go further with his career. He did an amazing Larry David impression. Also did JB Smoove impression, which was good.
Spot on, yeah.
Did DMX and Will Smith, which I've seen before, but he also did Papoose and Cassidy.
Oh, shit.
And those two was spot on. I'm like, bro, who can you not impersonate, bro? Like,
Must
and then
be a
again,
New York thing. Like, I don't know,
bro. I'm like, at the same time, like, bro, ain't no way you can do fucking Will Smith and Papoose and like didn't go to a higher level. Like, it don't add up.
I feel like it's tough for impression people like that to maintain a long career. Like, you remember Frank Caliendo? Like, how great he was. Like, his run was 3-4 years. That was it. You know?
Yeah, like have your TV show, but then Frank ended up like being on Fox Sunday, the football pregame show. So like, no, like you make a great point when it comes to impressionists. So Conan. So I thought that possibly was the best episode,
hands down.
So he explained in the interview I watched after that his wedding ring has sauce under it, and because of that, there was like this burning sensation he couldn't figure out. But it's because he rubbed his hands with the sauce. Remember, put it everywhere.
Bro, just having that all over your face, like, it fucking burnt. He had the hottest sauce, like,
bro, like,
didn't care.
Chugging. Like, I'm like, no. Even if I'm trying to like fake it, bro, I could have never.
I couldn't imagine.
I love watching Hot Ones, and when they get to what is it?
Is it the eighth wing?
Yeah, the eighth wing. I like when they get to the eighth wing because not the dab. Damn,
the one before.
It's like
I'm pretty sure it's the eighth wing because the dab is the last one.
The dab's the last. The eighth
but
is like the nuclear explosion.
It's the eighth wing.
Something. Yeah.
Yeah, that one, because that one fucks everybody up. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you'll get to 7 and you'll be like, oh, it's hot, you know.
Yeah.
But then you get to that one, they'll be like, what the fuck? It's like, it doesn't even taste good. It's just hot. Like, like
That's literally Pusha T. Like, literally, word for word, bar for bar. And I like watching it because you can progressively see, like, the person trying to remain composed, but at the same time, like, you can start to see their eyes watering, or they may reach for the handkerchief and, like, go to wipe
Glass
something.
of
You have to
milk.
tell them, like, you know, like, be careful because you can possibly get the sauce in your eye, then you really fucked up. So, Conan had mentioned because of how much he was trending after his episode, people literally thought he was dead and was, like, reaching out to him. And I just thought that was, like, a funny cap to his episode because
The
whenever you
funniest shit be is the very first wing he ate. He's like, "Is this supposed to be hot or
it?
something?"
Yeah, he's like, "Is there anything on this?" Like, he's like,
It's
started
like-
talking about how people aren't afraid of the right things anymore.
It, was, it wasn't until like the fifth wing. I think it was like the fifth wing. Even then, he's like, "Is this a joke or something like that?" Like,
Yeah,
he's like, "When's it get hot?"
Dude, but that's the thing. He was like not trolling, but like talking shit. So when you do that, you have to like fully commit.
Oh, yeah,
just
for
like
sure.
it was somebody else that was
It's
like
a hell of an act,
yeah, somebody else did that, and I think I might have them in my notes. But
bro.
Pusha T,
shit. With food though inside your body and like all that shit reacting, like how do you not break character in that? Like that's what's crazy.
dude.
No
Pusha
matter if
T,
it didn't like phase him or not, like there's got to be like even a flinch or something. But
I can do it. Like I definitely ain't making it to the 8th wing. I'm trying to.
no.
I try to figure out when I would tap out, but like I give kudos. Pusha T was the latest one I watched, and this man brought grape soda as one of his goddamn drinks.
Oh god.
And as soon as I saw that, well, first of all, I didn't see it. Me and my boy was watching it, and he's like, "Wait a minute!" I'm like, "Did I just hear what it?" So I looked up because I was on my phone, and sure enough, drinking grape soda. Which,
Oh my god.
as soon as I saw that, I literally thought of Uncle
that
Ruckus.
was the yeah,
Bro,
yeah.
there was powerful niggatry at work
Yeah,
because who the fuck?
Yes.
There is nothing refreshing about
No.
grape soda if you're
No.
drinking something hot. Like
No.
that was the blackest shit I
That was a
possibly
bad
ever
idea.
seen in my life.
That was a bad
Like,
idea. Yeah.
and it was a bad idea because he literally was. He got to the point where, like I said, he was trying to stay composed, but you started to see his eyes water, and he was like,
God.
he started to nod his head. He was like, "Yeah, this is hot." So then he asked the host, like, "So when do people start to like reach for the drinks?" And so he was telling them like he follows whoever the contestant is or the interviewee, and he's like, "I would kind of wait for them to reach for the drink, and if they do it, that's when I reach for it." But like, I just had to think the host is more composed than most people when they do the chant. Like, literally doesn't flinch, but like he does that for every interview.
Yep.
So I was just thinking, like, as we get older, you know, you can't eat some of the shit that you used to be able to eat years ago.
Man.
So like, imagine his inside. Like, what do you think? Like his intestines. Like he does that every episode.
His palate has to be super trained for that now. Like,
Yeah.
you know.
But
it
even
doesn't phase
then,
him.
like my brother for years had put hot sauce on everything. But at a certain point, like you can start to
getting,
get
yeah.
like your body just it can't take that no more. So I was thinking about like, man, like, bro, he must like I don't know how he can like how do you go about that? Like that's still not every day, but however often he interviews, like
I'm
dude,
just
he's got
thinking
breath.
about that carbonation burn from the grape soda. Like,
Dude,
I've
it was
had-
nuts.
though.
oh,
It was
yeah.
nothing. Like there was no. I'm like, bro, like what? Like I just don't know the logic behind that because even if you drink regular wings, like
Yeah.
even with barbecue sauce, like you might
Having
drink
a Sprite
pop-
or something. Like even that burns sometimes.
bro burn.
Yeah.
So I'm like, bro, that I don't know what that
Oh.
was, but the
Yikes.
Pusha T episode actually was the first episode where I saw somebody not go through all the wings.
Oh shit.
Oh, damn.
He actually, I think he didn't do the dab. What do they call? They got like a wall. It's like not a wall of shame, but like all
Yeah,
the
it's a wall-
actors that haven't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wall of shame.
But the funny part was, Pusha T asked like, "Who finishes this challenge?" And the host was like,
Everybody.
basically, like, most people actually finish it. And seeing Pusha T's reaction, he was like, you could kind of see he was shocked, like, really? Because like y'all said, like the dab, and I love the way he sets up the dab. Like, you don't have to
don't
do
have
it,
to.
but as soon as he does that, everybody be like, no, fuck that. And go too hard. Like, I think Jay Farrell, like, some of those people went way too far and don't realize they fucked up until it's too late. And you can see that immediate reaction on their face where it's like they're asked to promote whatever they're supposed to promote. and they just sitting there struggling. Like, who was it? Was it Pusha T? Was like, I can't think right now. He's like, he literally was sweating. Like, so all in all, bro, it's like one of those. You know how you're on your Modern Family kick right now, Drew? Like, it's just a perfect light show. You get to learn about people, and I get to kind of work on my craft of continuing to get better with interviewing. So
Yeah.
I'm loving it. But no, that show's been amazing. Also watch a stand-up called "I Smoke Weed and I Watch Nature Shows" by Greer Barnes. Have y'all heard of him before?
Never.
Dude, he's like he has like this reserve. Drew, y'all both should check it out because I'm curious what y'all would
Is
think
this
about
how you
him.
transition to like a fun animal fact this week?
Stay tuned,
You know what I
Drew.
mean,
We
Gerard?
getting there. We getting there. Stay tuned. So that's
I was about to say, is that a new pseudonym for B? Because that's what he do. Like, he watches.
Hey,
He
I'm trying
smoke
to tell
weed.
y'all, man.
He watch animals.
I ain't the only one. And then I watched Patricia O'Neal, who had a live stand-up in 2002. Drew, I talked about, how I remember you and Jerry talking about Patricia O'Neal gone too soon.
He was funny, man. Yeah.
Funny as fuck. But he was funny because he talked about the real shit that nobody else wanted to talk about. Like, his stand-up or his bit about how you want a woman like in the same like house as you, but like don't necessarily have to.
Yes.
Like that's the shit
man.
guys want to talk about that, but like I want you in the house to know that you're safe, but like we don't have to be in the same room. Just like as long as I know you safe, that's all. Bro, I love R.I.P. Patricia O'Neal. Then I watched 10 times that Kenan Thompson made people crack on SNL skits.
Oh, nice.
Dude, so shout out to Keenan. I think he's the longest standing member, if I'm not mistaken, on the show. So like, bro, incredible career. Then I watched Chris Tucker breaking down his most iconic characters with GQ.
I watched those too.
Dude, that was the first one I watched, Gerard, and I think that might be another thing that I tap into because they're incredible. Talking about how Prince was actually supposed to play his Ruby Road character in Fifth Element?
That make Fifth Element.
Oh, yeah.
That makes
So,
sense.
I never knew that.
That makes sense. Yeah.
It makes perfect sense, like you said,
Yeah.
Gerard. So apparently Prince declined the role, and Chris Tucker said that he tried to channel Prince and his character as like the inspirations. But he said if he had saw the outfits beforehand that they was going to ask him to wear, he probably would have turned down the role. But he said he's glad he didn't see the outfits because he's glad of what he was able to accomplish as the actor in that role. So that was super cool. He talked about how Charlie Sheen actually gave him the first billing on Money Talks, which was super cool to hear about Charlie Sheen being humble like that. But at the same time, Chris Tucker found the script, basically did everything for the movie, and they're still going to give the billing to Charlie Sheen. So that was one of those moments where
well, he deserved it. Yes.
Yeah, right. So it's like Charlie Sheen was like the audacity. Like, how y'all going? Anywho, showing he had range and a serious role with Dead Presidents. He talked about that. He talked about skipped over it, but one of my favorite movies, Money Talks. He talked about how the day they recorded the prison scene with him and Faison Love, he talked about how they came up with that on the spot the day of. It's just like being silly and turns into like one of the funniest scenes you'll ever see in any movie. His role in the Michael Jordan movie, where he played Howard. Yeah. That role actually wasn't included in the script, but Michael Jordan had asked for the role to be added because of the importance of Howard in his life.
Yeah.
Ben Affleck being the director, so like I said, the role wasn't actually in
this movie. What's the Michael Jordan movie?
Air.
Air.
So
I never saw it.
So they talk about the story of how he
It's
got
really
the shoe
good.
deal.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it either, but I actually
That's
did.
the one that came out like a
basically-
couple years ago, right?
Yeah.
I think it's on Prime. I think it's on Prime.
I was
but
like, is there a song
about,
from the '90s I missed, or a movie from the '90s?
Nah, it's about the Michael Jordan, the Jordans, the Air Jordans.
So Ben Affleck being the director, once Michael Jordan asked for the role to be added, essentially Chris Tucker had to like come up with all his own lines and ended up, speaking to people throughout Howard's life to like really channel that actor. But said it's quite possibly like one of the toughest roles he ever had, but he's super proud of it. So I thought that was cool.
That was dope because I seen that and you wouldn't have known that watching the movie.
He's like, bro, like, no, that is incredible. His role in Jackie Brown. So he talked about how fans were super upset because he died super early in the movie, and his fans came to see him in the movie. So think of like
man.
Chris Brown and like Stomp the Yard.
Yeah.
And he's like, people was really mad at him for that. So, but he said he did it because it gave him a chance to work with Quentin Tarantino, even if it was like a short, amount of time he's in the movie. But the famous like get in the trunk scene, dude, it was cool to see him talk about that. And then lastly, he talked about music videos, how he was in California Love. And also You Rock My World with Michael Jackson. But he said with California Love, it was super hype because Tupac had just got out of jail. So, like, everybody's hype with Tupac getting out of jail. And he also talked about how, I guess they was on, like, riding through the dunes or something.
Yeah.
And he almost
set
fell
up
off.
like Mad Max.
Yeah, so he said they hit a bump, and he almost, like, he actually credits Michael Clark Duncan for, like, saving his life. Because he said he was actually going to, like, basically fall off the whatever transportation they were in, and Michael Clark Duncan grabbed the back of his shirt and basically held him so he didn't fall off.
Oh, wow.
So R.I.P. Michael Clark Duncan. But he said like between him and Debo, Zeus, what is this real name?
Tiny Lister.
Tommy Lister, yeah. He was saying how those are like Tommy Lister was very close to him, and he was saying how he missed him, but it's just crazy to see like all the people from some of his movies no longer here. But overall, like, what an incredible career and one of my favorite actors, man.
You should watch Jamie Foxx's next.
His GQ going through characters. Bet
Yes.
I'm gonna definitely do that.
You should watch that one next.
I watched a little Bob Ross. Always never a bad time to watch some Bob Ross. I watched a video on how stretching actually changes your muscles. I watched a video on how walking affects your body.
What muscle you trying to stretch, B?
You said, what am I trying to stretch? Actually, my back. My back spinal. When we're getting older and you realize certain muscles don't truly move like they used to. But then I watched, I think I already said this, but how walking affects your body. Then I watched why polar bears are the most dangerous bears out of all.
There you go.
There it
You was
is.
getting to it. You ain't gonna stop what I enjoy. That's all I'm gonna say. Tapped into a new anime drive, Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm curious if Kira has watched that one, but I feel like she hasn't. She would enjoy it. I haven't finished it yet, but so far so good. Watching Batman Cap Crusader. Have y'all seen that?
Yeah, Cape Crusader. Yeah,
Cape.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cape Crusader. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's
I
an
think it's,
or cartoon one.
Cartoon,
yeah. So like
yeah.
it's a cartoon one, but it's like modern. It's almost like the modern version of the.
It's actually super dope. It's dope.
Oh.
Yeah.
The
Is it,
penguin
like,
being a
currently
woman.
going, or
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's on. I think I watched
Max.
it on.
Max? Oh yeah, Max has a DC deal. That's right.
No, I actually don't have Mac. I think it's on.
Paramount.
I think it's on Amazon actually, if I'm not
shit.
mistaken. Either Amazon or Paramount.
I'll check it
It
out.
might be Paramount. But no, really good. Like I said, the
it's
penguin
fire.
character, they made her a woman, so it's super dope how they did
it's dope.
that. I watched Carmelo Anthony. Go ahead.
If I'm remembering it correctly, wasn't Poison Ivy like and Catwoman like dating or something like that? Like,
So Catwoman's definitely trying to get on Batman. I don't think I've got to the episode yet with Poison Ivy, but I could definitely see that based on how things have played out so far.
Yeah, but Penguin is a woman. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, it's super dope though. It's dope. Yeah.
No, and they actually, a few episodes they have Batman in therapy, and it kind of, he's like, I don't need this type of thing, but it actually shows like shit from his childhood, like we mentioned, like messing with him now, and Alfred trying to get him to like actually positively go to therapy. It's really cool. So definitely check that out, Drew. Watch Carmelo Anthony and Rudy Gay weigh in on Scottie Pippen throwing goat shots at MJ and Bron.
Saying that. Yeah.
Scotty is wilding. I don't really know what his purpose is now. We keep flip flopping. I don't know. It just
And shout out to Carmelo because you could tell Brian really his brother because he don't usually break. Like he usually just like be neutral, but you could tell Brian is his dog. Like you know what I'm saying? Like real friends.
100%. I just don't understand what Scotty's like. I don't know. Like I don't know. He going through it. Then I watched what happened to the 4 players drafted above Deion Sanders in the 1989 draft.
Oh wow!
Excellent video. It was like a short,
Why?
I think maybe 12 minutes.
What made you
Dry, get high and watch stuff on YouTube, man. Let me live my life, dude.
No,
Jeez.
that is random, bro. I like
Dude,
what
and
you
your algorithms start working. You see something that interests you, you click it. Dry, I ain't gonna let me live my life.
Let's say you weren't even alive during that draft.
I wasn't. I was 2 years far removed. But anywho, that draft was loaded. Troy Aikman went number 1.
Okay.
Tony Mandrich went number 2. Super yikes. Dude was juiced up. It was so bad. Barry Sanders went 3.
Wow.
What's crazy is we talked about Genty, how we discussed him and Travis Hunter for the Heisman, but like even still, they show Barry Sanders' stats next to Genty's, and Genty played in 13 games. Barry had 11, and still all of Barry's stats was even better than Genty. Like the best running back season, or maybe any season ever in college football history. So seeing that, and then Derek Thomas went number 4, the DN for Kansas City. R.I.P. Gone way too soon. And then it was Dion who got picked at 5. So
not bad. I mean, that's
not bad at all, right?
Yeah.
Like interesting watch. Got to enjoy my high without being judged by some people. But no, it was super dope to watch that. And then the last 2 things, Drew, I feel like you will love these. I watched a gameplay / walkthrough of the game called Days Gone.
Oh,
Have
yeah.
you played that one?
Played it, beat it, did a lot of side shit in it, and it just gets so repetitive. It's the same thing over and over and over.
That's the thing. But
Yeah.
like the gameplay I was watching, like I wouldn't play a game like that. And I think I tell you guys, like, it's certain games that I can watch people stream. I never play. But it didn't look incredible on the. I think I watched like 10, 15 minutes. It looked good.
The best thing was going to zombie, like, what were they called? They were like zombie hordes or something, and you have to draw them out of like caves, out of woods, out of like a mine shaft or something, and just like destroy their whole little like hive. And that's the best part. Like, the story was weak as fuck though. Like, it was being on a motorcycle. You think it'd be dope, but it was just not that fun.
So I watched a guy. He was like customizing his motorcycle, and I love like riding motorcycles in video games. So it looked compelling, but it definitely did look like a game that can get old fast. But like I said, based on the 10 to 15 minutes I watched, it looked good.
Yeah, that's probably the proper amount of time.
And then I watched, last thing was Assassin's Creed Shadows early gameplay.
I cannot wait.
Dude.
Yeah.
I haven't played Assassin's Creed probably since I think the second one was the only one I like played.
The second was incredible. Black
What's
Flag,
the
the pirate one. Just Assassin's Creed 2 is called. That was it.
Yeah, like
the last Assassin's Creed I played was
Black Flag.
damn, no, it was
That game was
like
incredible.
oh man,
2 was good. You might have played 2 dry because it's almost like the
let me
Matrix.
look it
Like
because it's gonna bother me.
There's Brotherhood, Revelations. There's the one with the Native American like Civil War era.
I think that's the one.
Or I'm sorry, World War I era. Yeah.
what's the one?
No, what
one
was it?
so
Revolutionary War. Yeah.
I said 2, but the one that I played and beat was the one where it's like almost like you're Neo in the Matrix, where like the guy's in the chair, has a machine hooked up to him, and
That's
he's playing
the
out.
first and second. Yeah. Desmond.
So yeah,
is his
so it
name.
was 2 then.
Yeah.
So that was incredible. But on
Shadows
Creed,
looks incredible.
dude,
Yeah.
you can like crawl almost like you're playing what was that, Metal Gear Solid. You know how you could like crawl in that game being stealthy. So like they added that on top of like all the regular stuff, but they also have like, dude, the animations look incredible. You can play as 2 characters. One being the it's like the, I don't want to butcher his name because he's such an icon. Let me see.
B, you should watch gameplay on Assassin's Creed Black Flag. That's the pirate one, and that was one of the best games.
Yes.
Yeah, that game's incredible.
That's the last one I played.
Hey, when y'all send that to me in the group chat, because I'll
You
definitely
take over
check that
like
out.
you can build up your like Navy ship and like take it on the
Yeah,
waters.
yep,
and,
yeah.
bro,
Yep, that's the last one I played.
that game
Yep.
is gorgeous. The
That was
gameplay is
fire.
fun. The
Bro,
story's fun.
Assassin's
like-
Creed have always been super dope. Like
until they
2
kept
was-
it in like France and got it real repetitive after a while. Then they had to
Yeah,
change it up.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's when I quit. It was like that's all we doing here.
Yeah.
Yes, Black Flag. Yes,
Yeah,
that's the one.
that
You're right,
game's
Drew.
So good.
I
dude.
couldn't remember if it was Black Flag or like Syndicate. Like
Syndicate,
but
yeah,
it was
yeah.
Black Flag. That's the last
Yeah.
one I played.
Very
So in
good.
Assassin's Creed Shadow, you can play as 2 characters. So you have, I think, I'll probably butcher this name, but it's like Niao, a female ninja, and a member of the assassins, and then you can play as Yuzuki, the male samurai of African origins, who's based on a real person. So
Yeah.
That's the original trailer was with that character.
yes,
Yeah.
so like watching the gameplay, and the dude that was recording it was like able to play off of like somebody's computer in another state off of It's really weird. Like it was official. Like he couldn't show certain animations because they still wanted to like hide it. But dude, it looked incredible, and it was certain cutscenes where like you could literally choose if you wanted to continue the story as the female character or the male character.
That's dope,
bro. Like the graphics is incredible. It's got all the typical stuff of Assassin's Creed, but like I said, they added some dope ass animations. Like some they blurred out, and he was like, "Bro, I've never seen this in Assassin's Creed. Like that was amazing." So it only makes me want to watch people once the game actually comes out. It looked like an amazing game.
So the last one I played was Valhalla, which was the Viking one. Dog shit, dude. It was the same thing over and over. And I love open world games. It's my favorite. But when it's the same shit, like you have to go to a chessboard, select who you want, go do a few side missions, then kill the boss. Go to a chessboard, like.
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
Drew,
like switch it up.
let me ask you, when you playing open world games, because like my issue with open world games is I'll play the story, and then once you finish the story, what now? So what do you do?
If there's any side missions left over, like sometimes there's like treasures, and like it also depends the kind of game. Like let's take Assassin's Creed because we're talking about it. Like Assassin's Creed, there's like always 5 or 6 dungeons you have to complete, and in those like you have to like go through a series of puzzles, run across things like perfectly without dying, and then you make it to the end, you get something really good, you know, like or like there's always a ton of side missions in those games, like going back and just seeing the little shit that they included in that. What I loved about Black Flag, Gerard, was that whole ship scene was like a game in its own, you know. So
that
like,
shit was fun as hell. Yeah,
bro, you could go like what's one of the most historic ships? I can't think of the name. Like the Black Pearl or something. Like a legendary ship. You had to go and take that down. But if you weren't strong enough, bro,
like,
your shit would
because you was a pirate, so you were able to take ships.
Yeah,
that was the funnest part. But like you said, once you got to Paris.
Yeah,
that's when it kind of bogged down, because the whole point was traveling from where you from to Paris, to get to Paris. So once you got to Paris, it kind of wasn't nothing else to do, and that's why I was like, all right.
What I loved about that game too, there's just like random little islands like out in the distance. Yeah. So you'll park your ship, you'll jump off, you're like, oh shit, I just got a sick treasure. There's like one that like trolls you. It's like there's nothing here, just a note a guy left. Like it's just little shit like that. Like I like shit like that in games, like just to keep my attention, but. Some games, bro, when you're doing the same shit over and over and over, like, I lose track of what the story is at times, you know? Like,
right.
I'll forget completely.
That's the thing with Assassin's Creed. Like, you had to go and do, like, the Eagle Vision or the bird's eye view.
To unlock the area, and,
the first couple times, it's super dope.
It's
like,
dope.
You go up, you climb up, you dive off into the...
After the 50th time, it's like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
come on.
What is it, the bale of hay, I think you, like, jump into, but, like... After a while, you're like, all right, because you literally have to do that to unlock all the missions. It's like, dude, like...
To unlock all the little treasures in the area to see where they're at, like... Else you got to go on YouTube and find them all, you know?
It's that does get annoying, but... it looked like, based on this Assassin's Creed, they switched it up to where you, like, have to go to an area to unlock clues versus, like... There's I think some of the games go back and forth, but sometimes they like will tell you exactly where to go. Then you just do the mission. But this one, like, you have to kind of figure out clues and X, Y, and Z.
That.
So, it looked like an incredible game, honestly, bro. Like, I was very. This video was like only an hour to kind of show a little bit of the gameplay, but like. When all the streamers really get into the, playing that game, like, I'm going to be locked in, bro. It looked incredible.
The last one they made was Mirage, and that went back to, like, the Middle East. But then it was Mirage, Valhalla. Then the one before that was Origins. And that game was incredible because it went back to Egypt. And you could, like, run up pyramids and shit, like, go through the pyramids and, like, find all the puzzles. And dude, that game was incredible, man. That was the last great Assassin's Creed to me. So...
No, that's fire, bro.
Yeah,
like,
I'm excited though for the new one. And it takes place in China. Like, Or is it Japan? I can't remember. Either or.
I think it's Japanese.
I think it's Japan. Yeah,
Japan.
No,
Yeah. Still, it's gonna be dope.
But like the story, bro. Even just in that hour, the story was so good. I was like, I was fully in it. So
my goal is that they eventually keep going up in history, and then they go to like modern times right now.
Yes,
like,
that's what I thought they were gonna do. That's what I thought.
Imagine Assassin's
like
Creed based in like New York. You're basically
sick.
like the Assassin's
sick.
Creed version of Spider-Man. Like,
Yeah.
dude, that
Then,
was incredible.
Get to the Revolutionary War. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like, yeah,
That's the one I think they did with the Native American one. That was Assassin's Creed 3, I believe. And they had like George Washington and shit in it. Like it was okay, but wasn't great. But like, go to modern times, then go past that. Go to like the future or something. You know, like a futuristic city or so. Like, there's so many ideas for this franchise. Like,
I definitely got an idea if they called me. Let's take it back to the civil rights movement. Let me.
I knew you was gonna say that. I was waiting when he started smiling, Drew. When he started smiling, I was like, I already know what he gonna say. I already know what he gonna say.
Play the racist clip now.
let me get a bird's eye view, get a complete area and vision.
He was gonna say that.
I'm gonna be locked in.
I knew it. I said Revolutionary War, and then he started smiling. I was like, I knew it.
Now I need a revolution.
You can travel to Alabama, Georgia, Louisiana.
Yeah, we gonna go deep into them trenches,
the
like
bayou.
how Red Dead Redemption, how you can meet up with them or see the Ku Klux Klan gather. And you can.
Jesus.
Nah,
he said, I need a bird's
I
eye
got
view
some
of
ideas.
that.
Hit me up. Gerard definitely saw me smile. I couldn't wait to talk about my idea. Nah, that's the one I would buy for sure.
I just randomly thought of this. Have you guys ever seen that movie? What's her face? It's about like modern day slavery. Oh my god, what the hell's the name of it?
Who's in it?
I can't picture
Was
her
it
name.
with Keke Palmer?
Was it? Hold on. Let me see. I'm looking at Keke Palmer. Was it? God, it's going to bother me right now.
Damn.
Was it Antebellum?
With Janelle Monáe?
That's it. Yeah, with Janelle
Monáe.
Monáe. That movie's wild.
That was crazy.
Have you seen that movie, B?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Oh, man. That's
What's it called?
Antebellum.
Antebellum.
It's with Janelle Monáe. Bro.
Janelle Monáe.
That movie's a twist. And then there's a twist on a twist
crazy.
at the end of it.
Yeah.
Like, I forgot all about...
The doll movie?
Type in Antebellum. That's
that's
Annabelle.
Annabelle. My bad. my bad.
I don't even want to tell you what Antebellum's about. Like, I already said too much, and it's about modern day slavery.
Oh shit! I already seen some screenshots. I'm just like, what's
crazy.
that? What's that movie I watched way too young? They had me scarred for quite some while. Rosewood.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like, why the fuck am I should have never dude. I should have never watched that. I was like,
every
terrible.
black kid has been scarred by that movie. Every black kid,
I'm like, bro,
there's no
what?
reason why you should have been watching that movie.
Bro, I don't even know if I was 10 years old, bro. I should have not. I was.
I thought you were about to say the other one about the slave ship. Was it Armistead? Is that it?
Oh, Amistad.
Amistad.
Nah.
I thought you were about to say that for a second.
To be honest with you, I haven't even watched that one.
Oh, really?
Bro, Rosewood
is sick. Rosewood is sick. Yeah.
I had nightmares. Yeah, no. Black parents did a lot of unknown trauma to their kids because I was not supposed to see that movie.
I take it you're not going to watch Antebellum, right?
No,
okay. So,
dude,
Gerard, I will tell him real quick. So, pretty much, she's like a businesswoman in today's day and age. Does she go to a club or?
Yeah, she goes
to a club. Mm-hmm. She meets somebody. They end up kidnapping her, throw her in a trunk, and drug her. She wakes up the next morning in slave clothes, and she's on a plantation.
Because they in the South, so like in Atlanta, they still have
old plantations.
Yeah.
Like
so like they
ones.
big mansions. Yeah, so they're running modern day slavery. So like she ended up being like a slave. It's sick, bro.
But it's weird because
crazy.
she's out in the field and like she sees like a plane go by, and you're like, "What the fuck's going on right now?" You think you're made to think that she was sent back in time or something, but then at the very end she breaks out and it shows like all the modern signs like at the plantation and shit. It's wild, dude.
Yeah.
No, I believe it.
That movie threw me through a few loops. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't know if y'all have seen the memes, but it talks about how like black people are tired of seeing like slave movies.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. That was
to the
right around
like,
12 years of slave time too. So
Yeah, no, like
Yeah.
Will Smith released the movie.
oh yeah, Emancipation.
Emancipation.
Yeah.
I heard it was great. Don't get me wrong.
Not gonna watch it.
I support Will Smith in all facets, but dude, I'm over that whole like.
You've been watching them your whole life. That's why. Like
Literally, bro.
Yeah.
Like we've seen enough.
Bro, we've been
of
in
that,
school
like,
watching them. Like that's where I saw. What was it, Amistad? We said that's where I watched it. Was in school. I'm like,
bro.
shouldn't be
that
watching
shit
this movie.
is not any more inspiration we can gather about that time. Like, bro, like, don't get me wrong. Like, I don't want it to be where we like gloss over that period of history. But as far as movies, like, nah, like, been there,
Yeah.
hella done that. Like, don't need any more. Like, let's get creative. Let's start. You know,
I think that's what they were
establish this
trying to
new
do with
story.
Antebellum was get creative with it, but it was still in the end a slavery movie. Like,
Yeah, yeah, that's not the inspiration you get after watching Antoine Fisher. Like I'm good. I don't need any of that in my life. Life is depressing enough as is for me to go out my way and get more depressed on modern day slave.
Yeah.
No thanks. No, I'm gonna have to pass on that. Thank you. But I appreciate y'all educating me though,
Yeah.
man. That's
went off on another little tangent, but yeah.
Hey man, that's
I don't know how we got here, but
We'll have to hear it on the replay.
right.
I took a bunch of time talking about what I've watched. I want to give y'all a chance to discuss what y'all been watching lately.
I'll go quick. Just Modern Family. We just started season 3, and then we're on season 16 out of 19 of Sister Wives now, so we're almost there.
Yeah.
Yeah, grinding, dude. Shit's about to get messy. So,
Dude, I was with somebody the other day and they had like went past Sister Wives and I had asked like if it was what it appeared to be, like basically
it's a
what is
long grind.
a
Yeah,
poly relationship, but then
Yeah.
she told me like half of them aren't even, I guess, a part of the. I don't know. Apparently, it's legal in certain states like Utah.
they got kicked out of Utah in the very beginning, like the first 3 seasons, because it's illegal there. They moved to Vegas and they moved to Arizona, and now they're contemplating moving back to Utah because now
It's
right
legal.
now, yeah, it's legal again. It's not legal, but it's decriminalized, so like they can still get a ticket, pretty much. They said for being in a poly relationship. So,
But like, how? See, that's the nosiness of my like.
Yeah.
How do you give somebody a tick? Like, in what situation would you walk past a couple and be like,
you know, like
it looks like a poly situation.
Yeah.
How do you establish?
I don't know.
That's so crazy.
The only other thing I watched, I mentioned in the chat last weekend, I think, was that movie Speak No Evil with James McAvoy. Dude, he is a phenomenal actor. Like,
No, he's
you've seen
incredible.
Split, right?
Yes.
Bro, Split is one of the best roles I've ever seen a guy like act in. Like, he played 13 roles in one. You know,
Split
But-
is one of my favorite movies. Yeah,
it's phenomenal.
that's-
And the way it leads into Unbreakable and Glass, just, incredible. But Speak No Evil is him and his wife pretty much go to a different country each year and, like, seduce a couple and their family and bring them back to their house where, they're eventually planning on robbing and killing them and just wiping them out from history. So once the family catches on to that, all hell breaks loose. But the way he acts, man, like, he goes from like sad to funny to serious to like crying to it's like he's almost doing the Split routine, Gerard. But
bro, I don't know.
It's incredible.
Bro, I don't know how he gets through movies, man, because he is sick, bro.
an emotional toll it has to take.
Yeah.
Like, there's a scene where like the little girl and his son, who you find out he cut his tongue off so he can't speak, and tell the family like bad shit's happening. Like, they're dancing, they just they're kids, they performed like a TikTok dance, and it's like 3 seconds go by, he's like, nope, start it again. He's like, you're off, Jack, or whatever his name is, and he's just like, do it again. 5 seconds go by, he's like, you just don't have the tempo, and next thing you know, he's screaming at this kid like, fucking do the dance right or don't do it at all, and just the family with him are just like, bro, don't talk to the kids like that. Like, he's like, I'm not talking to your kid. I'm talking to my kid right now. Just,
No, that's crazy.
bro, it's just the movie overall. The twists and turns weren't that special. Like, you saw it coming a mile away, but his acting, round of applause. So,
Oh, he's incredible, honestly. Me and my boys was talking about Wanted the other day, and they was talking about how unrealistic that movie was. I'm like, bro, don't try to fucking spoil that movie. That shit was fire. Curving bullets, pulling up in the whip, hitting the 180, putting a motherfucker in the passenger seat. Come on.
if you're fast enough, you can make a bullet go in a different direction. Like,
Bro,
yeah.
you just gotta, flick that motherfucker. Come on, nah.
You just gotta curve your wrist a little bit.
That movie was fire as fuck, bro.
That movie is fire. I can't lie.
Gerard, what you been watching?
Oh man, like I mentioned earlier, I went to go see One of Them Days. Had a great time. It was a good time. Been still watching House. I think I'm on season 4 now. So,
Oh, you're grinding.
How many seasons is the total?
I think 7. So
Okay.
That's not bad.
yeah, 6 or 7, one of them. So obviously been watching Abbott. What else have I been watching?
Yeah, you saw the one with Eric Andre, right? Good episode.
Yeah,
He didn't do
yeah.
too much in it. Like,
No, he didn't.
He
He
just-
didn't. And I was waiting for you to say something about it. Like, yeah,
he didn't really do a lot.
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
It was cool that's the district sent him to
Replace
to
him. Yeah.
to replace. Yeah, like
Yeah.
that was funny. What else? I've been watching Queen Latifah's the Equalizer, trying to grind through that because the new season about to come out. Morris Chestnut is in a new Watson, so Sherlock Holmes. His best friend is Watson, so yeah. I have that in the queue. And then reality TV. Like it's a new some new bullshit on Netflix called WAGs, Wives and Girlfriends. So it got all the athletes and like rappers, wives and girlfriends, and they on shit like that. So like I don't know if y'all know the social media. Her name Yes Jules. She's on there. Ocho Cinco's fiance Sherelle. She's on there. Kodak Black's baby mama is on there. Tyreek Hill, his wife is on there, so they're talking about him and his 10 kids.
Man.
It's basically like Basketball Wives. They just so and that's it, man. Football, man.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad you said that, Gerard, because I wasn't gonna talk about it, but last time we recorded, we all had our predictions about the Lions, and things didn't go the way that I saw them going.
Man.
So
Nope.
it was. I actually had a discussion I wanted to talk to y'all about real quick. It was, how do y'all feel about watching the Commanders basically shit the bed against the Eagles, and knowing they literally had a flawless game against us?
They played
no
the same
turnovers.
game we played against them. Like,
That's
that's what it was.
what happened.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, no, that literally.
Yeah.
But there also is a part of relief we kind of talked about in our group chat, because it's like seeing how Brian Robinson was getting off against our defense.
Man.
Like Saquon might have had 300 yards, so it was just.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
So like after the season ended, I'm really happy with the Lions season, but I knew that we were playing with house money because we were not ready to play the Eagles. We were not ready to play the Chiefs. We lost too much throughout the season to really be a Super Bowl team. Had we would have won, it definitely would have been a team of destiny type shit. And I think that Washington beating us basically showed that. Like, the offense if the offense isn't perfect or like blasting people off the field, it really isn't anything our defense can do, no matter who's out there. Like, AG can scheme the world up, you know what I'm saying? If you don't have the talent out there, that's not going to make a difference, And I think that's what that Washington game showed, that, we won that Houston game because we still had players available. And Jared Goff turned the ball over 5 times. There was still talent on the defensive end to get us back in the game. You can't turn the ball over that many times and against Washington with a quarterback like Jaden Daniels, you know what I'm saying, who's not going to make a mistake.
Yeah.
Because he didn't make a mistake against the Eagles. You know, it was all his skill players that fumbled. He didn't do nothing wrong. Yeah. So, like, had they not fumbled and stuff, the Eagles would have had a tougher game, and the Eagles still hung 55. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I think had we not turned the ball over in Washington, we would have had to score 55. That's the difference. Like, we had to score 55 to win that game. The Eagles scored 55 off of vibes. That's like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
that's kind of the craziest part to me, Gerard. Like, seeing Eagles score 50 and basically, like, stop kind of trying, you know, at a certain point, like they rested their starters in the fourth. You don't see that shit usually in the playoffs. Like, but
in
also
championship game too. That's crazy.
Yeah, going back to the Lions, like what they scored 31 points, if I'm not mistaken. Like, bro, that's a lot of points in the playoffs. But at the same time, they gave up 45. So
45.
I don't recall seeing a playoffs where it was like this much scoring, and it's not even that like teams aren't playing defense. Is like you got explosive play after explosive play. But even going back to the Lions game, like I want to give a shout out to Dan Campbell because you see the coach for the Commanders, like the Lions actually got a decent amount of third down stops, and they were one of the better third down defensive teams in the league. Guess what? You got a team now where it's like, okay, it's fourth down. We're still going to go for it. So, like, usually it's like, all right, just hold them 3 plays. Now it's like, damn, like, there's no longer, all right, it's fourth down, automatically teams are running off the field. Like, like teams understand now taking the destiny in their own hands versus giving the ball back, which we saw with the Bills and the Chiefs. Is like, bro, you give Pat Mahomes, what, 3 minutes and 33 seconds, I believe it was?
Yeah.
And he came back and won the game. Like, bro, it's you can't – it was this philosophy, and it still is to a certain point, but, like, force the other team to beat you or force the other team to make mistakes, like – no, we're seeing a different shift now where it's like, actually, we're going to take this game to our own hands. So I have to give a lot of kudos to the Commanders. I did not think Jaden Daniels as a rookie would come in and have a flawless performance. Like, I think one of the most overlooked plays people haven't talked about enough against the Lions is he had a sideline pass. I don't know. I don't think it was Ertz. I think it was the backup tight end. Literally double coverage, put the ball and only the spot where his guy can get it, bro. And it's like, how can you be mad at a deep? Like, what can you do in that situation? Like, the coverage was tight. They had 2 players on them, and it still made the play. So, no, I think Jaden Daniels had the best rookie season of a quarterback we've ever seen. But at the same time, I keep forgetting that Jaden Daniels isn't your average 21, possibly 22-year-old rookie. Like, he's 24. So, you know, I think we'll see a huge following with – I know he was real big on the training with virtual reality. And I think you'll see a bunch of quarterbacks doing that just based on the success he has. So, all in all, like you said, as time has passed, I feel better regarding the season with the Lions. But, bro, watching these games the past weekend, it was very hard. I thought about not watching it. But at the same time, like,
it's football.
You got to. It's football. And I heard I watched Brad Holmes' press conference in the season, and I watched some of Dan Campbell, and like you kind of forget, like they lost Davenport so early in the season, like that was just starting the end. So like not only did they lose starters with Hutchinson, with McNeil, but like they were losing like starters that were starting because the actual start, like you have third, fourth string. So like you know, we talk about attrition, but like you can't prepare for, you know, having elite third and fourth stringers when you can only have 53 people on the team.
I mean, the start of that game, we lost to Meek Robinson. Like,
literally, you know? And I don't think that's talked about enough because Meek was having an amazing season.
He was on fire going into that,
after starting. But like Gerard said, when we played Houston, we also had Carlton Davis.
That's another.
A Meek, another starter, taking over for a starter that then gets hurt. So it's like now you're – bro, it's crazy. So for them to do what they did –
still out, like just depth on the linebacker, you know? Just crazy. Bro, Derek Barnes,
so to watch Philly have damn near 8 guys rotating on the D-line, it's like, damn.
No real injuries, you know, healthy as hell.
Like, starting offense, like, they had a few injuries on the offensive line, but still, the holes that they was creating, bro, it's like, man, the thing that eats at me is, like, wondering what Detroit could accomplish not having no injuries, but like, damn, like not triple the amount of people on IR as your average team. So it's like, they did
I'm
what they
not gonna
could.
lie. There's a little part of me that wishes we gotten Jalen Carter. After watching, dude, he's a beast.
Bro, he is definitely one of the ones.
Yeah.
Just seeing how he literally took over the game,
Yeah.
but at the same time, when they played the Rams, I think I was telling y'all like Jared Verse for the Rams.
Oh,
You
sick.
saw him,
Yeah.
dude. Every team that's remaining, or the two teams remaining, has a guy on the defensive line
Yep.
that can literally just take over the game. Chris Jones with the Chiefs, like,
Yep.
Yeah,
see-
but the only thing I say to y'all about that, if Aiden was healthy, that would have been, we would have had that guy.
Yeah.
Oh
Because
yeah,
he was
no, that's what
doing
I'm saying.
that before he
Not
went
just
out.
Aiden. I mean, McNeil at certain points this game was
Aiden
unblockable.
and
Like,
McNeil,
double
yeah.
team. Like,
So like we look at these people and like we're envious, but we had those pieces and they got injured. It's nothing you can do about that. Like,
exactly. Shit, Rodrigo, backup linebacker, comes in, starts hooping, tears his ACL. Like, dude, how do you fucking prepare? So I don't know what their training staff will look like, but you know, you do need a little luck when it comes to stuff like attrition. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
The Chiefs have gotten remarkably healthier. Got Pincheiro back. They got they still have the running back that they had before, Kareem Hunt, is now like your backup. Like,
think about this, they still lost Rasheed Rice early in the year. Like, imagine
Rasheed
that.
Rice,
Like,
exactly.
now you got
and
Xavier
then when it
Worthy,
got D Hop, you know,
D-Hop,
exactly.
you got Juju, Kelsey still hooping, like, and then at the end of the day,
Noah
when all
Gray,
shit fails,
like, he's still a solid tight end too.
and then don't forget, you got Patrick Mahomes behind your center. Like, you know, you could do far worse.
you can't count that dude out. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of whatever it is, like, he just finds a way.
Hate him all you
I
want.
look at Pat. I look at Pat Mahomes the same way we used to look at Brady, because Brady just, it was no matter where it was, like, you had the Pats on the ropes.
Yep.
If Brady had the ball at any time in the fourth quarter, you just kind of got to hold your breath and hope he fucks up. 9 times out of 10, he not. But you know what I'm saying? Like,
and it's funny you mentioned that because I forget who it was, but it was a stat. Like, all the quarterbacks based on crunch time, like in the playoffs, their record when trailing, I don't know if it was a field goal, touchdown, or just trailing in general, but how successful they were and basically leading their team to a comeback. Tom Brady, I think, was like around between 50 and 60%. Like, he had success leading his team back, which, again, arguably the goal. I think Drew Brees had like 30, 40% of the time he did it. And just going down the list of all these great quarterbacks, even Peyton Manning. But when it comes to Patrick Mahomes, literally, I think he's been in that position 7 times. And literally all 7 times he's led his team to a comeback, which is
crazy,
unprecedented. Like,
that's
so
crazy.
to talk about Brady in a certain regard, but even see, like, he did lose in the Super Bowl, before, and to see Mahomes whenever he's in that trailing position. Matter of fact, I think whenever the Chiefs have been down by 10, they have like a winning record of coming back. Like, it's incredible, dude. So you got Andy Reid, but at the same time, you got
the Chiefs won
like,
3. The Chiefs won 3 Super Bowls. They were down in all 3 Super Bowls.
Yep.
They never won the Super Bowl wire to wire. They've been down in all 3 Super Bowls. They lost 1 Super Bowl, and Tampa Bay smacked them up. But Pat Mahomes was running for his life and still doing amazing shit.
Hooping, it's truly incredible just to think about. Like, he still hasn't been in the NFL that long to have all the accomplishments he does. Like, bro, it's pretty remarkable.
He just tied Brady for most playoff wins or something like that, didn't he? Or
he
something
has,
like that.
No, he tied.
It was 17.
Was it Elway? Or
I can't remember.
It was another great quarterback. Like,
I know he has
because
more.
Brady is number 1. He's number 2. Pat is now number 2 overall.
That's crazy.
Brady's number
he has
1.
more playoff wins than certain organizations have, like, their entire history.
That's nuts.
And again, he's only been in the league X amount of years. So speaking of, he had multiple rushing touchdowns in a game for the first time in his career against the Bills. So, like, he continues to find new ways to get the job done.
That is homework, because he knew, like, if you watched the game against the Bills the first time, he saw that they was playing man the whole time, and you know, like if we being honest, the Chiefs ain't really had no receivers to beat man, but Pat kept trying to throw the ball, and you know, the Bills won, you know, off a close game. This time he said, "Play man, I'ma run." Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna get active out there and to force y'all to go into zone or to stay, like, keep a spy on me, and then I'm gonna start dotting y'all up. It's really hard to bet against Pat Mahomes.
Oh, for
like,
sure.
So once we get into our predictions, man, the Eagles honestly have the better team. Like, to be fair, they have the better team. It's hard to say Pat Mahomes can't figure them out. With a week off, like Andy Reid is one of the greatest coaches of all time after a week off. He gonna figure you out, dog. So
yeah. I'm just looking forward to the chess match between Andy Reid and Pat Mahomes, but then seeing, like, again, the defensive line of the Eagles, 8 deep. Yep. You know, a lot of what Mahomes is able to do, he's able to create, extend plays. Yeah. When you got Jalen Carter, you know, come after you and getting through those double teams with ease, you know, the defensive ends that the Eagles have. But also they have playmakers in the secondary. So it should be a very entertaining game. I actually did have a couple stats here, but let's just get to our predictions. Speaking of the Eagles, they rushed for more touchdowns in the NFC Championship game, which they had 7, than the Cowboys did all season long.
Jesus.
So just incredible, dude. But like you said, betting-wise, I don't know if I will bet on the Eagles to win. I'm hoping the Eagles win, but the Chiefs are in rare air, man. Like, nobody's three-peated in all the sports since the Lakers back in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever done it in football before, so
sadly, I think it's kind of written, you know?
I feel like, bro, like, it's going to me, the thing with the Eagles is, like, which Jalen Hurts are you going to get? You know, Saquon's going to eat. You know, the defense is going to, you know, get after, but, like, Jalen Hurts is going to have to throw the ball.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I'm sure that KC right now is saying they're going to fully commit to stopping the run. They're going to try to keep Jalen Hurts in the pocket and force Jalen Hurts to win. But to his credit, I will say, in my opinion, Jalen Hurts had one of the best Super Bowl performances I've ever seen in his loss. So it's like, I know he's capable, but at the same time, there's been moments this year where it's like he's had some bad throws, but he's also been injured. He looked really healthy in their last game. So I expect a very entertaining Super Bowl. God, I don't want to see Kansas City win, but I mean, you gotta respect the greatness, bro. So like, I'm gonna go with the Eagles, but I won't be surprised if the Chiefs pull off the three-peat.
I want Saquon to win it. I do. He deserves it.
Listen. I told Kiera, I really don't care. It's like if I'm really saying anything, it's 51 Eagles, 49 like percentage wise, like who I want to win, 49 Chiefs, because I would love to see Saquon win. That's my absolute favorite running back in the league. I would love to see Saquon win.
And I know you're conflicted, Gerard, because I know you love Pat Mahomes.
No, I love Pat. I love Pat.
But I also feel like you also are kind of annoyed of like the Chiefs' luckiness,
media.
But at the same time, you also love Mahomes. So I fully
I love and that's crazy. It's crazy because 2 of my favorite like offensive players are playing. I love Pat. I love Saquon. So either way, it could go either way. But I would love to see the Eagles win for Saquon to get a ring. I would love to see a three-peat because I love watching history. So
Same.
So like I just want to at this point it's just like let it be entertaining. I don't even care.
Not to mention chasing Brady already too. Like that's I
that'll
didn't think we'd see a guy like that. Like I didn't
if
think
he
we'd
wins
see that.
That's 4. Yeah. That's 4 and like how long he been in the league? 8 years, 7 years.
Yep.
You get rid of Tyreek Hill and you still like people wonder whether Tyreek Hill was like the cheat code, but you just kept it rolling, bro.
They're
like
getting Rashee Rice back next year. Like I'm just saying,
you got Mahomes, you got Kelsey, even who's getting older. Like he still knows how to get open.
Yeah,
still can make plays after the catch. Like it was incredible. They even like scaled back some of their downfield aggressiveness and like started running the ball.
Yeah,
and still like they don't have like this dominant offensive line, but they just keep plugging, and get the job done.
Yep.
So, and then their defense is like. It's kind of overlooked because, you know, you always think about the offense when you think of the Chiefs, but, bro, like I said, Chris Jones.
Their defense legit. Yeah.
Defense is why they're the number 1 seed this year. They they never put up 30 this year or something like that.
No, bro, like their defense is solid. Like, they all do their job. Like, That's what it comes down to: health, luck, being able to have quarterbacks that make plays in certain clutch moments, and just having those guys step up and make a play. So it almost feels like a win-win in the Super Bowl because honestly, I feel like it should be entertaining. I feel like a lot of people would love to see Jalen Hurts get his first Super Bowl ring. Saquon, that would be a perfect cherry on the top for his incredible season. But then, like you said, everybody loves history. Seeing another three-peat, dude, who knows if we'd ever see that again? Especially in football, dude.
It's tough.
That's tough,
bro. To have we saw with the Lions, arguably having when healthy one of the best, or if not the best roster. It's so hard to stay healthy in football. So it was incredible just to think about what they've done. And Andy Reid,
After suffering in Philly all those years, and
he had so many close but no cigar moments in Philly, and then it's like you get to the Chiefs, you get this quarterback, and bam,
I really wish he got one with McNabb.
Yeah, well, it's funny, Drew, because how narratives change. Andy Reid was thought of as a really good coach, but couldn't quite get over the hump.
Exactly.
Question his time management. Does when it matters the most, he can't get it done. Fast forward to now, Andy Reid's regarded as arguably one of the best coaches to ever coach football now. So it's amazing, bro. I'm jealous to be able to have a quarterback, Mahomes, where it's this is what I want you to do, but if you decide to wing it, we trust you. Hey, do your thing.
Here's a 10-year contract. Just get us one more. Let's get
us
3 more now.
Every contract
Still
that comes
underpaid.
out, it's damn.
Still underpaid.
They're going to have to pay Mahomes some more because this motherfucker ain't in the same league as him. It's
you
crazy,
get him a 3P, you got to give him a bonus.
He won't have to worry about money. His kids won't ever have to worry about money a day in their life.
They gonna pay Pat. If there's anybody that's gonna get paid, it's Pat gonna get paid.
Man, but just a few more stats here before I'm done with everything I have. Per ESPN Stats and Info, the Texans are the first team to outgain their opponent by 100 yards, which was actually 336 to 212, not turn the ball over and lose a postseason game. Previous such teams were 49-0 in the playoffs.
Wow.
The Raiders have never lost a coordinator to another team looking for a head coach ever. And now we see the Lions lost both of theirs. So just imagine.
We just lost our tight end coach too. He went to the Jets with AG.
Fine.
So that's six. That's 6 assistant coaches that left.
That's fine.
Crazy, bro. So man,
Calvin Shepard's been there, through when Dan first started, so he's fine.
Yeah.
I fully trust him.
Yeah.
Look, one thing I have confidence in Dan Campbell in is finding good assistant coaches. He just does a great job. So. Regarding the NBA, I know the Pistons lost today. We talked about the Pacers game, but after they beat Atlanta, I believe a week ago, the Pistons were 7-1 in their last 8 road games. Only one of those 7 wins came against the team with the losing record, which was Brooklyn. The other 6 came against the teams with a collective 36 games over 500. So I know they lost. Been a little rough stretch the last couple games, but still, like we said earlier, they're overachieving. So shout out
Better
to
than last year.
Dude, they have, if I'm not mistaken, they have the amount of wins that they had in the last 2 seasons.
That's
I think
crazy. That's disgusting, actually.
It's some crazy stats. And the last note I have here is MLB news. So the Baltimore Orioles have implemented a new concession menu with 11 items for $5 or less.
Wow.
They're selling their peanuts for $2.50, popcorn for $3.50. Bottled water, $4, hot dogs, $4, and $5 beers.
That's not.
And I just have to say, I love, as we talk about Netflix and all these companies raising their prices, this trend of sports teams or sports organizations lowering the cost. Because, goddamn, you already, get smacked over the head to buy the tickets. Now, God forbid, you or anybody want to eat. You damn near had to make sure y'all ate good before y'all went to the game because the prices were so crazy. You wasn't getting nothing, bro.
Guess how much a beer was in Cleveland?
I don't even want to know, Drew, because I remember years back, a beer was like $10 at the Lions game, and they don't even take.
No, it's still. I think it's 12 now or something.
Yeah, it's 15 in Cleveland,
so. Bro. That's
15 for a beer.
Come on, bro.
Yeah.
I don't even drink, but I'm sure you can get a 4 or 6-pack for like that same amount at a store, can't you?
Yeah. One thing that was really dope. I haven't seen this in stadiums yet, but they had like half family size bag chips. I wouldn't maybe whatever's under the family size. They had like a half bag of that, and there was 3 different flavors, and you could get walking tacos there. So that's
dope.
pretty dope. Those were 15 for a walking taco, but I'm like, that's not the worst price. You get a lot in that half bag of chips,
Yeah.
Hey, no Diddy, but as long as they provide enough meat, you can balance it out with the amount of chips. Hey, Dry, keep judging me. You've been judging me all episode, so let's end it how we started. It's cool.
Yeah.
Was there anything else y'all want to discuss before we get out of here? Because that's all that I had.
I know the best way to end the pod right now. I heard Kendrick's performing Not Like Us at the Super Bowl, and that's a wrap.
Well, I mean, I expect
also, we didn't mention that SZA is also performing at the Super Bowl, but
That's
I
right.
also heard Tyler is performing too. So,
Oh, shit. Damn, that'd be dope.
Tyler, the Creator.
yeah,
That's dope.
Because I was hoping maybe you were talking about Lil Tyler.
He's not at that level, B.
yeah. All right, just
Yeah,
wrap it
these
up.
are actual recording artists who make, platinum albums.
Don't disrespect my dog, Lil Tyler, bro.
I mean,
he
I
on
hope
the
he
way.
makes it to that level, but I don't know if he's going to. But
Hey, I got faith in my dog. But I'm glad you guys wanted to end it with talking about SZA and Tyler and Kendrick and Not Like Us. So looking forward to that performance, dude. Can't wait. On that note, this has been another episode of Two Hip Hop Senseis and a Casual Man. Until next time, y'all be easy.
One.
Take care.